And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler. I'm joined by Sheen Washable.
I can't hear anything on my headphones.
You can't hear anything in your headphones? Master will have to mess around with your stuff. But you can still talk.
Yeah, I'm going back to my first name. Two Juicy Souls.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
I'm back here now?
I'm good.
All right.
I didn't hear the intro, so I didn't know we were starting.
Paying some homage to yourself. I like that.
Yeah.
The Master Chris Massey.
And
Soon to be the private stock Massey.
and the Red Baron.
No.
So, all the headphones are gone now.
Oh.
I'm on.
No, I'm not. Master's just fucking with headphones right now.
So sometimes, too, if you
There you go.
jiggle
I got it.
I don't even know if I can hear anything. Someone say something.
What?
Can you
Now,
hear?
someone say something good.
I love you.
Now tell me something good.
Mitch Trubisky sucks.
Well, that's never. I like your Crown Royal bag.
Thanks. Thank you.
It's a Patriots candle.
I mean, it could be anything.
No, it's a Patriots.
Could it be the Ravens?
Well,
Probably not.
All right.
maybe not.
So, Mass decided that he was going to belt out a comment.
Yeah, you should drink
I'm
that.
not taking private stock for
You
that.
should. You should.
I'm standing by
Because
it.
you're an asshole.
Kyle says, fuck you to Mass for hurting Drew Brees. And he says, that's what happens when a mortal touches a god.
Yeah.
Because he touched Aaron Donald. The same Aaron Donald who got a face mask during that.
The same Aaron Donald that got hurt in that game.
He did. He came back on the field.
Doesn't
Drew Brees
mean
didn't.
anything. He's not a god. He got hurt.
It's true. If he was a god, he would have never left the field to play.
So therefore, that should be the rest of the private stock.
Only if you do it with me.
But how does that even make? I'll drink a door's worth you, because I have to drink it eventually.
I like how he said it.
I'll drink my drawers with you.
Go ahead, pour yourself a double.
All right, what do you
We'll
drink?
get to it.
Starting
What?
lineup, Souls?
I'm going back to my half original roots, Lil Juicy.
Could you say it in a rapper voice?
Lil Juicy.
That wasn't bad.
It's kind of like little. It's kind of like boozy and crunchy black mixed together. I like to think that like boozy evolves into crunchy black.
Yeah, that's like his final form.
Oh,
Right.
it could be Captain Souls. I could totally rip off Mock.
Souls the captain.
'Cause I'm the real captain today.
Chris Massey.
I'm drinking Coors.
God.
No, you're not. You're drinking.
So
Coors Light.
See? Because it could be the banquet.
Mm-hmm.
and private stock.
Born in the Rockies. I'm also drinking Coors Light, but that's just because I'm really going to be sipping on this new limited edition game day bag Crown Royal. It's got like a little jersey mesh bag, white strings. It's got the stitching like if it were a jersey. Pretty much, I mean, Crown Royal, I'm a sucker. Put out a bag. They could put it in shit. They could put it in a used dog bag, and I'd be like, I don't have that one yet.
You know, the guy that sold me this made me feel like it was like the greatest thing in the world, and I knew it wasn't.
I know, there was like two guys at the counter, and they were like, light or dark? And Kyle was like, I was just like, dark. And he was like, all right, you want sweet or not sweet? And then some other guy just chimes in from across
Not
the store.
sweet.
Like, not sweet, not sweet. He's like, not sweet. He's like looking, he's like going, he's like, and then the other guy was just like, we'll go Doers. You can never go wrong with Doers.
Oh.
Except all the time.
Was Dave Sanderson the guy who's selling
Every
it?
time you drink Doers, it's wrong. Just every time. Every time.
Yeah, the T-Rex broke his cigarette.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Toast of Excellence. Souls, you got one?
Yes,
no?
I do.
Oh, you do? Wow.
Off the top of my head for the first time.
Wow.
My toast of excellence at the University of Virginia's men's basketball coach, Tony Bennett. He declined a $1 million extension and told him to give it to the rest of the program or to the other programs at the school.
That's like Tony Bennett, like the guy who was singing songs with Lady Gaga?
I think so.
Kind of. But
To my
he's got a
knowledge.
national championship. So.
Mass? Chris
Toast of
Massey?
performance in a single quarter. Pat Mahomes throws 4 touchdowns.
God. Suck his fucking dick.
Doers is not good, Brother Luke.
I mean, it's okay. I mean,
It's not.
it's not. I don't know why they make a nip of. It's just one of those things.
I'd rather get nipped than drink that again.
What does that mean? That you would rather get nipped?
Snipped.
Oh, still, what does that mean? Like with scissors?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
All right,
You are.
I am.
What's your test of excellence, Riddler?
I got to find the name, so if you have one over there.
I'll jump in. I'm also drinking Desired Effects double IPA from.
Oh, we skipped you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Honor Brewing.
We do that a lot.
That's all right. I'm an afterthought. And mine's good to the boy Julio Jones became the Falcons' all-time leading receiver.
I don't know why. Okay, but I really thought you were about to say the boy Chin Wonder.
Actually, I'm changing mine. No, I'm not. But yeah.
Oh, here we go. Mine is to Michael Fyers. Did anybody see why?
No, I did not.
Go ahead. All you just go throw Michael Fyers in your Google machines. Right now.
Is that the beard?
Huh?
The beard?
The facial hair?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking...
Yeah. Don't ruin it for them. Just let them look it up.
Big fan of whatever. It's like a riffraff thing. You know?
What the hell is that?
So he shaved his beard to have one sideburn go down, chin strap, then back up to the goat and across with a mustache.
I'm not
Why?
gonna lie. I didn't know who that was when I looked at it the first time.
That's some good stuff.
He also looks terrible without a beard.
It's so funny.
Picture 5.
Actually, I don't even know if that's the same guy.
It's so funny. It is so funny.
Actually, you got a decent mustache for the Tigers there.
I'm glad he played there.
I like how many photos there are.
Can't
up.
know-
God, that is not even
Alright.
the same person.
The closest guy doesn't have to do the shot. How many teams did Michael Fyers play for? Top of the head.
3.
Sure, fucking. I'm
6.
going with, damn it, Paul. I'm gonna go with 7.
I'm going to go, guys, rounding out on his 9th team.
Okay, look it up.
Look it up. All right, let's
He
go
played
back.
for 3 teams in the last 3 years.
I played for 3 teams today.
Is this guy not on Pro Baseball Reference?
Michael Fyers has played for... Son of a bitch, I was close. Milwaukee Brewers, Houston Astros, Detroit Tigers, and Oakland Athletics.
Ken will have to do. Oh, all of us have to do the shot by him. Fuck me.
Price is Right rules.
No, it has nothing to do with the Price is Right rules. It has to do with the rules that he said earlier.
All right, well, you still got to drink half of it. So pour 4 shots.
I'm not drinking half
You
of it.
have to.
I do
You
not.
have to drink private stock.
It's a
No.
big
The
aspect
whole
of the
point
show.
of the private stock is when you make ridiculous bullshit accusations and comments, you
I'm
drink
taking it with
private
pride.
stock. This is the basis of the show. And because of people like you and Mike Mock, we have gotten away from our core values, which is why people stop coming to the show.
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
So,
No, they stopped coming because of their women, and we know that.
Okay, first of all, don't be coming at the guys on the show. It's about the viewers.
you,
Oh, this is hilarious.
from now on, we're going to have to find punishments.
And you still owe a bunch of private stock for not fucking watching the damn movie.
All dogs go to heaven. The listeners haven't forgotten.
So don't think we've forgotten, you swine.
You like how he's pouring these full-ass shots where
He's
he's
gonna
like,
give himself a fucking half a cup.
This was my entire last show. These were my shots that I was getting. I didn't complain, but we burned through a big portion of the private stock.
this is terrible. All right, so let's get into, you guys just want to get right into some Week 2 recap?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Kyle, could be worse.
Yeah, you're right.
Nah.
That could be the Dolphins.
You're right. Nah.
Did they have the second worst start of all time?
Yeah.
Point differential-wise?
Who had worse?
Oakland. The first 2 games, there was 2, I forget what year it was, but there was, after 2 games, their point differential was like 90 points. They got shut out in back-to-back games of like 42-0 and 48-0 or something like that. All right, no one's listening, so no one
I
cares.
heard you.
I'm listening.
Do you know what season
They're
that
all
was?
assholes.
2006 when they had Matt DeSupio as a quarterback.
Yeah, probably. All right, so
I've
let's
never
start
heard
out
of that.
with the Thursday night game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers went into Carolina and walked out with the victory, 20-14.
Bad game.
Jameis Winston, 208 yards and a touchdown. Peyton Barber, 82 yards and a touchdown. Lighting it up on the receiving end was Chris Godwin with 121 on 8 catches and a score. Cam Newton threw for 333 with no touchdowns, no picks. McCaffrey was held to almost nothing on the ground or through the air. Greg Olson, though, coming out of his shell from the injury bug, 6 receptions, 110 yards, but no score.
I didn't pop my beer. I'm sorry.
Do you guys have to do shots for losing teams?
Listen, man.
You do shots when you lose head-to-head matchups.
All right. Do you have to do shots for that?
For what?
Did you lose your head-to-head matchup?
I just did it to do it.
What are you talking about?
We played the Seahawks. Who's a Seahawk fan here?
Nobody.
Exactly. So what are we talking about?
Oh, I thought you meant in fantasy. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, that? Nah.
Okay.
No. Anybody have anything they'd like to add to that game?
Besides, well, even though McCaffrey didn't do anything, the other receivers did.
Yeah.
DJ Moore had 9 catches for 8 and 9 yards. Curtis Samuel.
I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm picking up, like, the show.
It's me. So, last week we had a problem, so I'm just trying to fix
Who
it.
cares?
All right.
This is about us, not
And
about
then
them.
Curtis Samuel, I think, had 102, right?
Yeah. I think those receivers did well in spite of Cam, not because of Cam. Cam looks broken.
I don't think it's his fault.
You know, I feel like that phrase is almost always used incorrectly, in spite of. Because spite is like a hate, right, Kendall? You're the master of
Yeah,
words.
it's kind of.
So it's not like DJ Moore went out and caught all those yards in spite of Cam. It's not just like, fuck you, Cam, I'm catching all this shit.
Yeah. Mad at him for not throwing him a better ball and getting him better yards.
Oh, he had 9 catches. He can calm the fuck down.
Yeah. How about he just becomes a better receiver?
Cam does not look good, though.
Moving on to the Sunday 1 o'clock games, we had the San Fran 49ers demolishing the Cincinnati Bengals 41-17. Garoppolo's Pizzeria was open for business with 297 yards and 3 touchdowns. Burrito had 100-plus yards on the game, and
Debo.
Yep, Devontae Samuel. 87 yards and 1 touchdown. Andy Dalton continuing to light up the yards, though. 311 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
All right.
He's fighting for that
He got
job.
like 800 yards. More than Ben will have.
Joe Mixon, another porous day at the office for
See,
fantasy
I don't think
owners.
it's his fault, though.
No, it's not. And
Guys, it's like
but Tyler
30
Boyd,
dudes.
10 receptions, 122 yards.
He's surprising.
It was a 49ers defense.
Do you think it's more the 49ers being good that won by that much, or the Bengals being that bad?
I think it's the Bengals being that bad.
I think Garoppolo's Pizza's open for business, and I think that they were going up against a 95-year-old couple that owns Bengals biscuits.
Nice. I like that analogy. Can I go up against him?
Anything to
next
add? No.
No, I think Garoppolo's look good.
week? I don't think he looked great.
No.
Moving on next,
Yeah.
a real barn burner. Oh, are you still going? Well, I didn't ask if you had anything to ask Kendall. Continue.
Got a point.
Do you have a point?
Continue. I just said to continue.
It's going to say, I don't think Garoppolo's looked great. He hasn't made any throws this season that's made me go, wow. I think he had, 2 passes go beyond 20 yards, and one of them was that one where
But he's making the throws.
the big throws he's made have been to wide open receivers in the middle of the field with
Yeah, but
nobody
why
around
does
them.
why does a quarterback have to have wow throws every game to
He doesn't, but you would expect one here or there. I mean, he hasn't
Everybody-
made a tough
Why?
throw.
How did we Petty Mahomes who could fucking run 98 yards that way and throw it 35 yards the other way?
And it doesn't matter because he has no defense to back it up, and they will lose to the Patriots in the AFC Championship again.
Facts.
He's not winning a Super Bowl as long as Tom Brady's an active member of the NFL.
No.
Just hope
So-
they retire soon.
I don't. Just Brown. But
Fair.
I mean, Rex Grossman was in a Super Bowl.
Ugh.
He didn't throw a pass for his whole career that made me go, wow.
He threw one.
No. He didn't throw a pass for his whole career that made you say, wow. He definitely threw something that made you went, wow.
Kind of like Mitch Trubisky so far.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
Not a shock, but
Trubisky,
just a fact.
Trubisky can run though.
Yeah, but he's a terrible decision maker. We'll get into it.
All right.
Yeah.
I
It's kind of like got like Josh McCown's athleticism with Jay Cutler's decision making,
Yeah.
but then like Chad Pennington's arm because he doesn't have arm strength and he just looks like a foot.
That's it.
I don't think
That's my quarterback.
I don't think Garoppolo is a bad quarterback. I just think he's average.
I know you and Mike Mock are like the same person. The Browns are the best team in the entire world. Garoppolo sucks. He's the worst quarterback in the NFL. We
No.
both love and hate our teams. Moving on, the real barn burner of the day. The Lions defended off the LA Chargers 13-10 at home.
That's shocking.
Phillip Rivers, 293 with 1 interception. Eckler, 66 yards on the ground. Keenan Allen, 98 through the air. Stafford with 245 and 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Kerryon Johnson with 41 yards. Kenny Galladay, though, big day, 117 yards on 8 catches for a touchdown.
See, that game shocked me.
Yeah, me too.
It didn't shock me because the Chargers always suck. They always play up or down to their opponent. That's why games between them and the Steelers don't disappoint.
All right.
I never knew that it'd be so simple, but they found a way. They found a way. Stafford opened up his eyes.
Throws a
But
pick
if you look
now.
at if you watch the game closely and like you look at the highlights,
Matt Patricia smells.
you will see that Matthew Stafford says hike, looks at Kenny Galladay, and if he's not open, he goes, "Well, we're gonna figure this out."
All right, who's wearing blue?
That's kind of like what Trubisky did in the Packer game with Allen Robinson. Like, not open? All right. Where's the next? All right, so Robinson's covered.
Robinson.
Not open, not open, not open. Oh, there's a guy wide open over there. Robinson triple cover. All right. Anything to add? Anything to go about this game? I mean, it's just kind of like a whatever game. I mean, two teams. You know, one team playing down, one team playing up. Lions
should be 2-0.
But they're not.
Yeah, they're 1-0-1. They haven't lost yet.
They're 1-0-1.
Yep.
1-0-1.
1-1-0.
They're 1-0-1.
Sorry.
All right. Next up, the Green Bay Packers took care of business at home, defeating the Minnesota Vikings 21-16. Kirk Cousins, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Dalvin Cook with an impressive 154 rushing yards and a touchdown. Adam Thielen, the high man on receptions for 75 yards on 5 receptions. Aaron Rodgers, another low day, 209 for 2 touchdowns, enough to get the job done. But hey, maybe this is the new way Aaron Rodgers plays. Aaron Jones finally got out of his shell a little bit, 116 yards on the ground and a score, and Devontae Adams hauled in 7 receptions for 106 yards. I think the thing to take away from this game is that the Green Bay Packers defense might be for real this year.
They're playing well.
I'm sorry.
And they have a really big potential to go 3-0 because they're playing Denver next week.
I believe that the Minnesota Vikings are going to continue to be mediocre because of Kirk Cousins. His decision-making is terrible. They're at the 30-yard line, second down, just throw it out of bounds. Throws it up, picked off, Packers end up coming clock.
This is a really big shot.
It is a pretty healthy shot here. But I'm ready for it if you guys are
I think the
ready.
Packers' defense is good, but I think Minnesota's offense is worse.
I can see that. I know what you mean.
You know, Vikings battled back, and then
I think the Packers were 21-0.
yeah.
And then they just, All right, moving on. The Tennessee Titans fall short to the Indianapolis Colts at home, 19-17. Jacoby Brissett, in his second start of the season, threw for a whopping 146 yards, but 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Wilkins was the high man on the ground, 82 yards rushing, and T.Y. Hilton, 4 receptions for 43 yards and a touchdown. Marcus Mariota, pedestrian, 154 yards and 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry, 81 yards on the ground. Delaney Walker, 4 receptions, 39 yards. So this was really a game of who can move the football less.
Yeah. And they were both pretty good at it.
I was talking to you yesterday. I don't know if you heard me. But this is the Titans team and the Colts team we're going to see all year. Colts will battle. Titans will disappoint.
Well, I will say...
Colts should also be 2-0.
Yeah.
But they're not. They're 1-1-0.
But the big question to take from this is Vinatieri.
Well, I thought he said that you were going to be hearing from him today.
He did.
He did, and
He said he's
then
fine.
Frank Reich just came out and said, yeah, he's kicking for us against the Falcons on Sunday.
If I was him, I'd be like, if I miss 1 extra point, I'm out of here.
Yeah, just walk off the field and be like,
Well, like you don't want to hurt your legacy?
No, just not even that. Just like you can't do it anymore. You can't do it. You're 55 years old. And then we took Morton Anderson 75 years to retire.
Interesting fact that I read today.
You're a pussy?
Yeah. When Adam Vinatieri
I agree with Paul.
started playing in the league, Houston Oilers were still a team.
They're still a team.
Yeah,
What probably happened was Vinatieri probably accidentally brushed up against Aaron Donald, and Vinatieri, just being immortal,
just like
lost all his kicking power.
Exactly.
Yeah. That explains why Robert Woods sucks so bad, because he must touch him all the time. Because Robert Woods' ass cheeks.
But I do like Cooper Cup.
But he's also ass cheeks this year.
Cooper Cup.
Cooper Cup.
All right. So, moving on.
Here we go.
The Miami Dolphins
Oh, that one.
played host to the New England Patriots. They were able to hold the Patriots to just 43 points and were able to muster a whopping donut on the scoreboard. Tom Brady, 264 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sony Michel, 85 yards on the ground with a touchdown. And newcomer Antonio Brown led the way in receiving yards with 4 receptions for 56 yards and a touchdown. Josh Rosen threw 97 yards and a pick. Kenyon Drake ran for 19 yards. And P. Williams,
Who?
4 receptions for 63 yards.
So who's getting traded next?
Mika Fitzpatrick.
To Pittsburgh, right?
I hope so.
I'll give him a second-round pick for that guy.
You guys should do a 3-team trade so you get Jalen Ramsey and Minka Fitzpatrick.
Oh, boy. I would love it.
Just give up your first 5 picks this year.
But did you hear what I said in the couch today?
No. I think the biggest thing to take away from this game is that Brady still has the QB sneak.
Well, first of all, I have a problem with the Patriots for one reason.
Oh, wow. Souls.
They're up 36-0. Why are you throwing the goddamn football?
That's what they do.
I get it.
Make them stop.
Just
There's 4 teams in the NFL that love to rack up points. New England Patriots, Green Bay Packers, the New Orleans Saints, Kansas City Chiefs. Well, actually, there's 5, because the Rams like to do it too.
Just have some
There's
fun.
5 teams that have no class when they're up big.
You're playing the Dolphins. They looked helpless.
It's
Ryan
not the
was from me
Patriots.
to Chris. He threw the ball, don't know why, and he picked it up for a pick 6. I'm sitting there like, yeah, Roden should be in this game.
Fitzpatrick threw a pass to the running back, and
he
he
ducked.
ducked, so the ball didn't hit him. He just ducked. It was a wide open pass.
I
He
didn't
had,
see that one.
he had 15 yards in front of him, and the ball was just, he was just like, oh shit, and he was just, and the ball just hit
straight
the
up,
ground
it
for an
was
incomplete pass.
hysterical.
Was it Kenyon Drake or the
No,
other
it was
guy?
Caleb Balaj.
Oh, dude, they're so bad.
It was hysterical.
Like, I know I'm 0-2, but I'm not that bad.
Well, I think Rosen looked equally as bad. I mean, they're just doomed. I don't know what their plan
Take
is.
to it.
Moving on to the Battle of New York's Blue and Red, the New York Football Giants played host to the Buffalo Bills, and they got spanked. I shouldn't say spanked, but they got beat 28-14. The Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, 253 yards and a touchdown. Frank Gore still getting the rock, 68 yards and a touchdown. Cole Beasley, the high man, 4 receptions and 83 yards. Eli Manning, another not so bad day. I mean, he did throw 2 picks, but 250 yards and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley, another 100-plus yard performance on the ground with a touchdown. And Benny Fowler, the big man, 5 receptions, 51 yards.
Well, that's all they had. Because Sterling Shepard is also out.
They had Russell Shepard.
This is my problem.
This is
Giant
true.
fans are already saying put in Daniel Jones.
I'm not.
Let me tell you something. When your number 1 receiver, Sterling Shepard, I know, is hurt, you got a bunch of fucking assholes just trying to run around, it ain't going to work.
Even when their team is fully healthy, they have a solid number 2 playing number 1 and then a bunch of 3s.
Yeah. Like, Golden Tate's pretty decent,
But he's a number 2.
Yeah.
He's a 2 receiver.
but, like, is he better than what they have? Yeah, easily. But,
I think he has one potential, but his receiving ability, his skill package is a 2.
yeah.
He's a 2.
Like,
vertical
Eli's just,
and
like,
the-
kind of doing, like, just throwing the ball just to see if anything happens.
Yeah,
The
I
Bills
think-
have a very good defense.
right, and it's the fan base of New York is quick to, you know. We talked about it in great detail a bunch of times. So they're quick to jump ship on when something is not going great. Mike Mock is 2 minutes away, by the way. He wants to jump in, so I want to see if we can. Whoa!
2 minutes away for what?
Arriving here.
We're not talking. We're moving on from the Giants Bills.
But I just got to say, I love Josh Allen, quickly becoming one of my favorite young quarterbacks.
I didn't get to watch the game because right now I'm
Michael
coaching.
Jackson.
I'm not really happy about it, but
All right, well, let's move on to something you are going to be happy about. The Pittsburgh Steelers hosted the Seattle Seahawks and fell just short, 28-26. Russell Wilson, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rashad Penny, 62 yards on the ground with a touchdown. And Tyler Lockett, the big man, 10 receptions, 79 yards. On the flip side of the ball, Mason Rudolph, yes, that's right, Mason Rudolph, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns and an INT. James Conner, 33 yards and a touchdown, and 1 injury. And Juju Smith-Schuster, 5 receptions, 84 yards. Big thing to take away from this game, bye-bye Ben.
yeah.
Arguably, forever.
If
Potentially.
Mason Rudolph does what Ben Roethlisberger did in 2004,
No. If Mason Rudolph takes your 0-2 team to above 500, I think it's the end of Ben. If Mason Rudolph finishes this season at 9-7, I think it's the end of Ben. Because here's the deal: it's not like you guys have an easy schedule. So if he wins, he'd have to go 9-5. That's what he'd have to do, 9-5, and you're talking about Cleveland twice, Baltimore twice. You're talking about going up against they're going to go up your division, and you're going to go up against the Rams. You got to go up against Garoppolo's Pizzeria.
Yeah. Next week. So this week, whatever it is.
If you look
Technically,
at the
it's
game,
next week because the Monday night game's not over yet.
If you saw the game or you saw the highlights,
football's Tuesday to Tuesday.
The Pittsburgh Steelers moved the ball better with
the Pittsburgh football Steelers. Damn you!
The Steelers moved the ball better with Rudolph and that game. And I'm only saying that because one, they're a younger crew. James Washington and Mason Rudolph already have like a bond together because number one in Oklahoma State, he was his quarterback. Juju's only 23.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the prospect of if Rudolph
Vince
plays
McDonald,
well.
Caught 2 touchdowns.
He did.
So maybe
Oh, the mass hitting that shot. Oh, Paul hit it too. I didn't realize it.
So maybe this is.
Soul's still with his too.
No, I'm not. But maybe this for the Steelers is kind of a blessing.
Here's the deal. You guys are not the Giants. You guys are not the Dolphins. No, it's Dolphins. But you didn't have to do what the Bears had to do, which is what the Giants are doing, which is what the Cardinals are doing. You guys still have talent on both sides of the ball, like rollover talent, and you're trying to plug in pieces. So this is the perfect experiment. This is the perfect time to experiment. It's a year when nobody expected you guys to even make the playoffs anyway. And now you add losing Ben to the equation. Perfect. It's a perfect experiment. I don't see any issue with it.
And you know what? I think
Man roster.
I just
takeaways from the games, all right? Anybody else have anything to add? Seahawks Steelers?
Oh,
nope.
Next week to join us, you asshole.
Private stock for being late?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the Seahawks?
Private stock for being late? We've already all done a healthy private stock shot, so.
What do you guys think of the Seahawks?
What are we talking?
No, I know you.
You want a shot of Crown Royal instead? It's in this nice game day bag.
That's pretty cool.
That's why I bought it. All right.
Seahawks defense, I said 3 times.
What about it?
What do you guys think of it? Do you guys think it looks atrocious? Do you guys think it's just...
No, they have a great front seven, but they can't stop anything in the air.
So, if they play the Cowboys...
They'll be fine.
What? Cowboys have a good offensive line.
Oh.
No, but if they play the Cowboys, play the Colts, teams like that...
Oh.
The defense.
Speaking of, the Washington Redskins played host to the Dallas Cowboys, where they made an interesting game, but they couldn't fend off the defending NFC East champions. Dak Prescott, 269 for 3 touchdowns and an INT. Elliott, north of 100 yards for the first time this season with a touchdown. And Delvin Smith, is that his name?
Yeah, who is that?
I don't know, 74 yards and a touchdown, though. He outbeat Cooper and Gallup, but they both had good days anyway. Case Keenum on the other side, throwing 221 for 2 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson, 25 yards and a touchdown. AP. And Terry McLaurin, 62 yards, 1 touchdown.
Do you have that loaded up?
Anytime Adrian Peterson, we're gonna fire the gun.
So, I think takeaways for this game, I think there's one big takeaway from this game. The Redskins are not to be walked all over. They're going to be here. They're going to be the NFC version of the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to be the team that puts up a fight every week.
Trey McLaurin actually looks pretty good, too.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting watching them go up against the Bears next Monday. I think that'll be a very interesting game.
Yes.
And Dallas is looking like the complete package this year.
What was the Darius Geist injury?
He's
They'll be tough for a while.
Yeah.
He's on the IR.
But what was he? Anybody know?
Something with his knee again.
No.
I think that the Cowboys.
Meniscus.
I think the takeaway from the Cowboys side is they're looking like the complete team out of the NFC.
Who they use? Oh, they had Chris Thompson. My bad. Sorry.
All right.
I mean, offensively, there hasn't been a weakness. Witten slipped right back in.
Yeah.
To where he was before. Cooper has shown that it wasn't just a flash in the pan. Gallup stepped up, playing well.
I just hate Dak Prescott because Uncle Eddie.
Why don't you hate Uncle Eddie because of Dak Prescott?
Hey,
I hate Uncle Eddie just in period.
Just for his period? Oh,
Yeah, he's a female.
I gotta say, Dallas has been looking very good. What's their next 3-game schedule look like? Does anyone?
think
They host the Dolphins next week.
No.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
So don't, again, not taking anything away from them. They look great. But they played the Giants, who are bad. Redskins, who are, they're not an easy win, but, I don't think they're a playoff contending team. And then the Dolphins, who are right now being outscored, 147-3?
But they're not beating themselves.
No, they're not.
That's the thing,
First
though.
of all, 10. They scored 10.
That's sorry. But
My prescriptions used to be really expensive, but then I went to GoodRx.com.
My prescriptions, too.
Does someone you know suffer from mesothelioma?
My goodness.
Look at that Chris Jankowski guy down there. Images for Mike Fire's beard. That's Chris Jankowski.
Yeah, it's not even the same person. How can they
Sorry,
get away
that's
with
CJ the man on this show.
that?
No,
Nice.
C. Jan the man. C. Jan the man, you dick. Get
Yeah,
away.
he's like 0-2 in every one of his leagues.
Is he?
Not our league.
Legit.
Beat me last week.
Oh, I'm over
In his league, he's
our
0-2.
I think I'm 0-2 in all my leagues.
Yo, fuck stat corrections, by the way. Fucked me last week.
Did you end up losing that?
Yeah. I had a
You
point.
talk so much shit.
That's awesome.
I don't know what point they got rid of, but
You can, if you go on the website, you can see what the corrections were.
yeah, man.
You can't see it from the phone.
Moving on, the Baltimore Ravens stood up tall at home to beat the Arizona Cardinals 23-17. Kyler Murray finished the day with 349 yards. That's it.
Yeah.
David Johnson, whopping 14 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. And Christian Kirk, 114 yards receiving. On the other side of the ball, Lamar Jackson, 272 for 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, 16 carries for $120 on the ground. And Mark Andrews, 8 receptions, 112 yards. Uno touchdown.
I tell you, again, Lamar's another quarterback this year that hasn't played a tough defense. But if he keeps us, he's on pace to be insane this
Well,
year.
he'll find out next week.
Who do they play next week?
I'm not 100% sure. I know they play
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
They play Kansas City next week.
Kyle's this
But again,
threatening
that,
message.
that's not
They
a
played a good
strong
team.
defense.
Right, I know, I'm just laughing.
No,
The
but
offense is powerful.
yeah, but when you have to keep catching
you
up,
have to keep scoring.
when you have to keep scoring,
Yeah.
you make mistakes.
No, I understand. But, it's not like,
You know what? They
a
didn't play that
top-end
good
defense.
against the Cardinals. I'm sorry. Their defense did not play well.
The Cardinals, once again, they kind of crept back into the game, but it just was not enough.
Yeah.
You know what I love, though? Murray's throwing the ball to Larry still.
Yeah. I mean,
Back-to-back game with 100 yards.
He didn't throw a touchdown,
Yeah.
Kyler?
We gotta get Frank Gore on the Cardinals.
I thought you were going to say on the show. Just be like, yeah, we do.
I got his personal email.
Next, the Houston Texans held on to win 13-12 against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. Deshaun Watson, 159 yards. Yep. Carlos Hyde, 90 yards on the ground. And DeAndre Hopkins, 5 for 40. None of those guys scored a touchdown. Well, Watson rushed a touchdown. But there you go. And then on the flip side, Gardner Minshew, in his first start, 213 yards for a touchdown. Gardner Minshew also leading rusher, 6 carries, 56 yards. And then Chris Conley with 4 receptions for 73 yards. The big story of the game was that Jacksonville rallied back late, went for 2, and didn't get it.
Worst 2-point call I've seen in a long time.
I don't even care about that.
No, that was awesome. They should have went for it.
But Gardner
No,
Minshew,
just the
I don't know
play
if
they
anybody
chose.
saw the final drive.
I didn't get a chance to see
He
it.
had a lot of balls on that drive.
Yeah.
He,
That's
you know,
why I'm
fucking
surprised.
escaping the rush, getting through.
Yeah.
The guy that's hot and led them down in the clutch, and they take the ball away from him for that 2-point conversion. That was
You know what? Like,
Well, it kind of comes down to the Marshawn Lynch thing. Leonard Fournette's a strong back. You're on, the 2-yard line. You don't throw there. Pete Carroll's still crucified for that.
Yeah, and if it worked,
Then it's
he'd
the
have been
greatest
the biggest
thing
hero
ever.
ever.
I know, it's
but,
a crapshoot either way.
I would love to have seen any single Seahawk fan bitching about it. Go in there, make the call, be in the situation, be like, okay, we're just going to give it to Marshawn Lynch, and just run it in. Just do that. just do it. Well, what kind of blocking? Just run.
It doesn't
Do it.
matter.
No blocking.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well,
He's beast
applaud
mode.
The
Minshew
X's and
on
O's
the
don't
final
matter. We
drive.
just got this big dick guy in the backfield.
I applaud him on that final drive.
He looked good. For his first start, I think he looked pretty decent.
Safe to say the Nick Foles era might already be over?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the 4 o'clock games, the Kansas City Chiefs went into Oakland and walked out with the W, 28-10. Patrick Mahomes threw 443 yards and 4 touchdowns, pretty much all in the second quarter.
Yep.
Didn't do anything else the rest of the game. LaShawn McCoy, 23 rushing yards, and Denard Robinson, 6 receptions, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. So they're just pretty much picking guys off the street to have great games. Derek Carr, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 99 yards. And Darren Waller.
Delaney Walker.
6 receptions, 63 yards.
I don't think the Raiders are that bad.
Raiders defense stepped up.
Yeah, they played tough.
Look, they gave
2
up 28 points in the second quarter, but then they didn't give up enough. They didn't give up a field goal the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Raiders are kind of a team everyone just assumed was going to be like a doormat this year again. And then, like, the whole Brown thing happened. and so it was like, oh, they're going to just be really bad again.
I saw a meme that said it was Derek Carr doing a thing. He's like, not bad for a car. Because like the whole Lamar Jackson, not bad for a running back. Derek Carr was like, not bad for a car.
I tell you, me and Kyle were talking about it. I loved that quote from Lamar Jackson.
That was cool.
I liked it.
But
the Browns still suck.
He's still got something to prove, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Then the other, one of the other 4 o'clock games, the Los Angeles Rams went into. Did they go into New Orleans?
No, it was at home.
Okay, so they stayed home. New Orleans came to them and lost 9-27. Big takeaway from that game: Drew Brees out for 6 to 8 weeks minimum.
Only reason why the Rams won that game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Teddy Bridgewater, though, in relief, threw 165 yards. Alvin Kamara, 45 yards on the ground. Michael Thomas, 89 yards through the air. Jared Goff, 283 and a touchdown. Todd Gurley, 63 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp. 5 receptions, 120 yards.
Can we say this one more time?
Cooper Kupp.
Need that as a ringtone.
Yeah,
Or put that somewhere in the intro.
We can make a new one. Master,
Make that the intro.
Master, quiet about your Rams. Any thoughts?
Breeze didn't do anything while he was in the game. He's not the reason that the team lost.
No, but they would have had the ball. So the Rams had the ball for the majority of that game because Bridgewater went 3 and out like 8 times. Breeze wouldn't have done that.
I agree, but it's not the reason that they won. I think another big thing to take away is that the refs screwed New Orleans again.
Am I mad at the
Oh, my God. Are we really doing this? How did they screw New Orleans? How? Someone please explain this to me.
I didn't see the play. I got the
How
update,
did New
but I didn't
Orleans
see what
get
happened.
screwed? Let me explain to you exactly what happened. Jared Goff was cocking his arm back. Somebody from the Saints went in and hit his arm at the absolute peak of his arm being back. So the ball came out, his hands going forward. Jordan Cameron made a clean recovery, had an open lane 80 yards to the house. They blew the play dead as an incomplete pass. We see that every other fucking week in the NFL. A quarterback fumbles a football, and they say incomplete pass, we blow it dead. Because guess what? If they didn't blow it dead, and he ran it back for a touchdown, and it turned out to be an incomplete pass, that would be a much bigger thing.
But you can review them and take that away.
I wish that they didn't blow the plays.
But you don't need everyone. How did they get fucked? How did they get fucked?
You let that play out. And
No!
review it later.
They don't do that. The NFL has never done that. Why make the exception just because the Saints? Why? Because the Saints got fucked.
I don't think that's why they should make they just shouldn't blow the play dead in any game. Let it play out, and then if it's a
They
score,
blow
they
the play
review it.
dead for safety reasons. They should 100% blow the play dead. The NFL is all about safety. They don't blow that play dead. It turns out to be an incomplete pass. Jordan Cameron's running, and guess what? Cooper Kupp comes running up the sideline to make a tackle for him, tears Jordan Cameron's hamstring, tackling him down to the ground. Now you just lost your star pass rusher on a play that never even mattered. It's safety reasons. Why would you not blow the play dead? It's the same
Why
reason.
is it any different than another fumble? I mean, at that time, they don't know if it's a fumble or incomplete. You got to let the play out.
Well, here's the thing.
Because
They
it's a
thought his arm
completely
went
different
forward.
scenario. When someone's getting tackled down to the ground and the ball comes out,
I'm saying a quarterback fumbling. I mean, they don't know from that snap if where his arm went and this and that. You got to let the play out.
So real quick, Kyle, what did you want to say?
So they didn't know if his arm
but
was
it
forward.
blows dead. It blows dead. They always let the play out. The play always plays out. The whistle didn't get blown until Jordan Cameron picked up the ball. They wait for a recovery to be made, then they blow it dead.
So
Then it's done. So Jordan Cameron had the clean recovery, Saints ball. They didn't get fucked. That happens at least 3 times a season. You see someone going to throw the ball, and the ball gets hit out of their hands, and they blow it dead before. How many times do we see a defensive touchdown get called back because they weren't sure on the call.
No, all the time.
And you'd rather get it right than get it wrong.
Right. But I have a question, though. So, I mean, I know what happened, but I didn't see it live. I don't know how everything transpired. Now, the play was finished. He did what any smart defensive player would do. You don't know what happened. He ran in the end down the field. He scored on the play, correct?
He ran all the way to the end zone.
Right.
But also because the play was blown dead, nobody was running after it.
Right. But he finished the play. The defensive guy, he picked up the ball, he finished the play. Great. They blew the whistle, he heard it, didn't hear it, whatever, he scored. At what point now, did they not review the play whatsoever, or they stuck with the call, or what happened?
They reviewed it.
Jared Goff's arm was all the way back, the peak of his backward throwing motion.
Right.
He hit, the ball got hit, came out as he was getting ready to come forward with it. So when the ball came out, the hand slingshotted forward. So the ball was on the ground. Jordan Cameron picked the ball up. After the recovery, they blew it an incomplete pass. After the recovery, as they always do.
Right.
They always wait in those scenarios for the ball to get picked up before they blow it an incomplete pass.
Right. So
then they went back and reviewed it.
So it was
reviewed it as a fumble by Jared Goff, and the Saints got the ball where Jordan Cameron recovered the fumble.
Okay. So if they didn't lose out on
safety.
A possession.
It's the same reason. Why does forward progress stop? Why do they stop for forward progress? Safety. Safety reasons. They blow the play dead.
All right. So I guess I have less of a problem. I didn't realize that it was reviewed as a fumble and the Saints got possession. I thought it was as an incomplete pass.
It was called an incomplete pass.
Right.
And they reviewed it and overturned it to be a fumble.
Right. So I guess I don't have necessarily a problem with that. Because the Saints didn't lose out on a possession.
No, they didn't. It happens all the time.
I thought the Rams were tamed.
How many times this season do we see somebody that is a running back get stood up 7 yards down the field and manages to wiggle his way out of it and gain 5 extra yards, but they blew the play dead because of forward progression? All the time.
All the time.
It's a safety thing.
If the ball went forward, if the ball went backwards, they would have probably said it was a fumble.
Right, the ball went forward, too. That's the other thing. The
hey.
ball, because the guy was behind him and smacked the ball forward, and right when the ball came out, Goff's hand comes forward. So it doesn't matter how they called it. The Saints still got the ball. They didn't get fucked.
That's a tough play for refs.
Yeah, it's a bang bang. I mean, they didn't get fucked. Did they get fucked last year in the playoffs? 100%. They got absolutely just dry dog, raw dog, anal with 6 dildos. But they did not get fucked yesterday. Not even a little bit. You have a lot of balls saying that as a Rams fan, sir. Because you're the one that keeps fucking them.
Not that the silver bullet can't
Wait till
fix.
Mason Rudolph throws for 834 yards against your team.
Hope so.
I don't
God,
think
just
it'll be
wait.
that high.
Landry Jones is signing with the Steelers this week.
That would be hilarious.
Final of the 4 o'clock games. The Chicago Bears complete a 30-second field goal comeback. That's right. Bears won on a field goal against the Broncos, 16-14. Mitch Trubisky, another absolute just excellent day at quarterback, 120 yards. David Montgomery finally got some carries, 62 yards and a touchdown. Allen Robinson, 4 receptions for 41 yards. Flacco, 292 for a touchdown and a pick. Kyle Fuller showing, once again, that he's a ball hawk. Freeman, 54 yards on the ground. Emmanuel Sanders, 11 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown. Parody. It's the best way to describe this game. Did any of you watch it?
I did watch it.
Did you watch the end?
I did. I watched the entire game.
So, they march down the field. They throw a touch. Flacco throws a touchdown to Sanders in the back of the end zone. Back corner of the end zone. Catches it.
Go for 2.
They go for 2. Delay a game.
It's my favorite. What's my favorite, ref calls? Hand over hand.
They go for the point after to tie it. Miss the point after. Leonard Floyd offsides. Go back to the 1.
It was Buster Scrine.
Buster Screeney.
That's the one thing you're going to chip in on? You're going to make sure you can correct
No,
me?
because Leonard Floyd's good,
He's offsides all the time.
but he's fun to watch.
And I bet you it was Leonard Floyd.
No, Buster Scrine.
Screen.
Whatever you guys want to call it. $100.
Winnie.
$100 that it's Buster Screen? All right.
Want me to go check it
Look
real
it up.
quick?
So it's Buster Screen or Scrine. If it's Screen, Kyle owes me and Kendall each $100.
That's fine. I know for a fact it was Buster Screen.
No. You just bet $100 that it was Scrine versus Screen.
Oh my god.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah. So then they line back up for the 2-point conversion. Throw it to Emmanuel Sanders. They're up 1, 31 seconds. Get the ball, 7-yard reception to Mike Davis or Trico and one of the backs, Montgomery, somebody. No, it was Trey Burton, actually. It was a 7-yard reception to Trey Burton who got out of bounds.
Yep.
And then Nick Chubb hit with a roughing the passer call. Not roughing the passer call. It wasn't. I mean, I didn't think so, but
Mixed bag.
Who was it?
Nick Chubb.
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley
Chubb.
Chubb.
I was like, wait, what are we talking about
Well,
here?
they're brothers.
I got confused for it. No.
The
Go ahead.
NFL makes up names.
Right, exactly.
Tom Crabtree.
Gilbert Chubb.
Yeah.
But,
But Tom Crabtree is the biggest culprit of NFL.
So then
game.
the Bears decided to make it as interesting as possible and throw 3 straight incompletions before Trubisky actually made like what looked like a really good quarterback play. Evaded pressure from
Stepping up in the pocket.
5 defensive players. Stepped out of a Von Miller sack, a Chubb sack, a Wolf sack, stepped up right to the line of scrimmage and just bullet passed it 26 yards down the field. That, by the way, he threw for 120 yards. 26 of them came on the last throw of the game. To Allen Robinson, who just sat in the middle. And Allen Robinson, vet move. Not only did he catch it and go immediately to the ground so they could get their timeout, he dove sideways into a Bronco to be downed by contact. Because when you catch it and just fall down, you're not giving yourself up. That's just possessing the ball. He dove right into the legs of a Bronco, got the timeout, and then Eddie Pinheiro comes in. Every Bears fan, diarrhea, everywhere. They're so pissed. And then he drills the 53-yard field goal. The Bears fans go nuts.
Why was everybody mad that Eddie Pinheiro comes in?
Would you want it to come down to a field goal at all this season?
No.
There you go.
But it was exciting. I was watching, and it was funny. Prior to when the Bears had gave up the 2-point conversion, I'm like, this team just implodes every week, and I was getting mad. Mm-hmm. And Trubisky showed some poise there.
I gotta tell you know what though? I'm glad that the Broncos went for 2. Because as a Bears fan watching that game, being the Bears, Khalil Mack the only one with having really the real exception to this. When you're a Bear, when you're a Chicago Bear, you don't play Denver a lot, especially in Denver. Right. The Bears defense was getting gassed at the end because they just couldn't touchdown. They could not catch their breath. So if they had decided to kick that extra point and it went to overtime, the Bears obviously probably would not have been aggressive at the end of the game because they would have just been a tie.
Yeah.
If they had lost the coin toss, they would have gotten walked all over. Their defense was just too tired. So,
as a amateur play caller, I was surprised that 2 games this week came down to a situation where the team went for 2 to go ahead. I mean, hey, listen, I don't know the stats, but I get it. I would never do it.
I like what you're doing there. We're gonna when we finish off the Sunday night game, I want to talk about something. I want to get people's opinions. Final game of the night: the Atlanta Falcons hold off the Philadelphia Eagles 24-20 to get their first win on the season. Matt Ryan, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Is this Ish Smith? Who the fuck is I Smith?
But it is Ish Smith. Don't be fooled.
All right, he got 33 yards, so he sucks. And Julio Jones, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns on 5 receptions, and the all-time yardage leader for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, 231 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, both to Desmond Trufant. Miles Sanders, 28 yards on the ground. Nelson Aguilar, 170 yards on 8 catches and a score. It was nice to see the Falcons kind of get back to form a little bit because they looked like poop last week.
Yeah.
And I like this Falcons team a lot, to be honest with you.
Bless you.
Can anybody here, with the exception of Kyle, guess my favorite Falcon?
Is it Keanu Neal?
Actually, Kyle, you can guess. Did you know it? Do you remember? Don't say it. You go last.
It's Matt Bryant.
It should be.
He's
Matt
playing
Bryant.
for his son.
He's not there anymore.
No, they brought him back.
They brought him back. He retired, then they brought him back.
Daddy,
to beg him to come back.
Daddy, could you please
Dad,
come
we
back?
need you.
All right,
We
son, I'll
need
come
you,
back out
Daddy.
there and kick those field goals for you.
The worst part is they cut him on Father's Day.
Things just haven't been the same since your mama died.
Oh,
Daddy. All right, so you going with Keanu Neal?
Yeah.
Machcine?
It's Matt Bryant.
Okay.
You're a Devontae Freeman guy. I don't know.
That's not true.
It's I Smith.
His favorite Falcon, probably Deion Jones.
Nope.
Is it Tack McKinley?
It's the best quarterback on the team.
Oh, Matt Shrub.
Mohamed Sanu.
No.
Oh.
Big Mohamed Sanu fan.
Really?
Yeah, I've always liked Mohamed Sanu.
He was a great Bengal.
They were talking about the punter was
That's not true.
nursing an injury, and they're talking about him coming in to do some.
The guy is literally like the best all-around player in the NFL.
He is a really good. He's
Can
a
I
good
just
passer.
say a quick thing about the Monday night game?
Sure.
If the Browns win this game, it means absolutely nothing.
All right, moving on.
No. No, I'm going to say this because, one, no Sam Darnold, and no C.J. Mosley.
Can we just real quick though? Can we just talk about how there is no other team in the NFL more fitting to have a quarterback go out with mono than the Jets?
Yeah,
Yep.
If the Browns win
It's
that
pretty
game,
funny.
it's absolutely meaningless.
Do you
A
think
win's a win. I
beat
mean,
a
I'm not
team-
saying it's a good win.
You beat
Do
a
you
team
think,
without
do you
their
think
best
do
defensive
you think
player.
the NFL ribbed the Jets? Because like I think it was like the 98th play. They did the top 100 plays in NFL history. The 98th play was the butt fumble. Now,
Yeah.
they coined it as the Patriots defensive player picking it up and returning
yeah,
it.
but it's not. That is.
I think they were fucking with the Jets.
Yeah, that does not deserve to be on 100 best
That is
plays.
one of the most memorable NFL plays, though,
Listen,
of all time.
Is it memorable? Of course
It's
it
way
is.
more memorable than the helmet catch. I'll tell you that. Way more memorable.
I mean, I will say that
It is.
a lot of people, non-football fans, do bring up the butt fumble just because of butt and fumble being in one
Let me ask you a
cluster
question.
of words.
How many consecutive weeks was the helmet catch the number one play on ESPN SportsCenter?
That's not a stat, though. I mean, they just play whatever
It is a
garbage.
No, because they have the best video clip of the day and they have the worst video clip
Decided
of the
by
day.
who? Stephen A. Smith?
No. So the butt fumble, they put it up when it happened against the reigning worst video, and all the Sports Center fans are allowed to chime in and vote on what they think is the worst, the better of the two plays, or the worst of the two plays. The butt fumble held true for 7 months, undefeated.
All right.
What play unseated it?
I think it was just the Giants just being alive. Just the New York Football Giants. Nah, they're a good organization.
Probably JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee. All right, we're going to go to break real quick. When we come back, we're going to do a quick run-through on the GSWD fantasy recap, and then Souls has a fantasy thing to do, right? I also have mine's way quicker, so I'll go first.
We'll do your first.
Mine's way quick. So, and then we'll come back in the third hour, and we'll talk something stupid. But we'll be back in about... I would like to try to hold true to what we say. Can we try to be back at 9:20?
Yes.
All right. We'll be back at 9:20.
And now, back to Getting Sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by Machcine Washable. Yep. An asshole. So he wasn't there for the introduction. I'm feeling better.
Introductions. I like it.
All right, so we got some wheel spinning to get to, but before we do that, I wanted to touch on something real quick. Oh, we get to the fantasy. We'll do the fantasy real quick. The Getting Sports with Drunk Fantasy League. Let me get into that real quick. Everyone hold on to your butts. If you can tell me the actor who made that quote famous in a 1990s action movie, hold on to your butts.
Oh, man.
Your butts. I know that movie too. That's bad.
You definitely know it. You should know it better than anybody else here.
Bruce Willis.
All dogs go to heaven.
The
Bruce
action.
Oh my god, I quoted it the other day.
Mass, we need you in the microphone, though.
It's definitely Bruce Willis.
Hold on to your butts.
Bruce Willis, Die Hard 3.
No.
Die Hard 3. The best of the
Can we
series.
not say it? I want to think about that for a little bit.
All right, sure.
I can't believe Kendall hasn't Googled it already.
Yeah, he's a fucking
Are you,
dude.
All right, so starting off first in the Getting Sports with Drunk League, we had the Riddler losing 88.02 to the Mass Chris Massey. I'm assuming you're D's Lutz, right? Losing to the Mass Chris Massey. He lost 140 as of right now, he's losing 140 to 88. The Mass still has Cleveland's defense. The Riddler, Deshaun Jackson didn't play. Drew Brees didn't score a point. Mixon didn't play well. Connor got hurt.
Who's the quarterback for the Jets right now?
Trevor Simeon.
Oh, that's right. Who is?
I don't know. Simeon is 19. I don't know who number 8 is.
So we had Rebecca Carry On My Wayward Son beating Tyler's team 137.96 to 130.12. Next on we had Roger Dodger, which I believe is Mike Mock.
Yep.
Mike Mock losing to Kyle Souls' team. Right now,
Nick Chubb. Come on, Nick Chubb.
he's losing right now 100 to 147. Souls is done. Mock has Nick Chubb and Odell Beckham going, so he would need 47 points
God,
from
I
them.
had Odell, too. All right.
You need 47 points in the second half from them. Next up, we had Kendall, a.k.a. Hakam Sakam Robots, losing 118 to 145 to CJ and the Man. And last but not least, we had the Geis is Loose B, which is supposed to be the Juice is Loose, which I believe is...
Tyler?
No.
Eric?
Nope.
You click on the name, it should show you.
Well, you know what's funny? The Geis is
Is
loose.
that Jeff?
Yeah. Jeff beating Eric's expert team 119 to 89.
It's always Eric's expert team.
But Eric has Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, and Le'Veon Bell going tonight. And he's currently down 30 points.
Ew.
Well, it's always Pat's perfect team, Tyler's tip-top team.
It's Paul's Peerless team.
Peerless.
Which is also a pretty good name.
Yeah. And that's your GSWD weekly updates. Real quick, while I'm finishing up before we get to the wheel spinning, I wanted to touch, you talked about it, the going for two thing. We saw 2 games come down to going for 2. Now, I understand when there is a penalty on the point after attempt, you can elect to accept the penalty and move half the distance to the goal. Why the fuck does 1 yard make going for 2 so much more enticing to offensive play callers?
I don't know.
Especially because we see so many 2-point conversions as pass attempts.
Right.
I'd want the extra yard for a pass attempt.
Right.
But every time you see a point after have a penalty on it, the coach almost always accepts it and moves the 2-point conversion attempt from the 2 to the 1 and then goes for 2. Why does it make it more enticing? I want explanations.
It's got to be because, I mean, you could fall forward for 1 yard.
Well, right. Besides the obvious answer being it's closer.
Yeah.
I think there's just a mindset for a lot of, like, play calling that, like, hey, you know.
But
go ahead.
But I understand what you're saying, but this is not something we saw before the extra point got moved to the 35.
You're right.
No, you're right.
Well, this has always been an option. You could have always done this.
Right. That never changed. And the thing is, too, like, if there was an offensive penalty on the 2-point conversion, it was half the distance to the goal anyway, so it's still a 1 yard. So that aspect didn't change, but as far as what Riddler is saying, if there's something happened on the kick, now it's the 1. So now it's like, now we have an opportunity to score being on the 1 yard line. I think a lot of coaches like, hey, we like our odds, you know.
It's because the kick got moved back, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Because, it got moved back. We've seen more missed extra points now. It's like, all right, it's a yard. I mean, I know it's from 2 yards to 1 yard, but I think it's closer. The kick is farther. I mean, kind of
It's a whole 36 inches.
Right, but it's interesting because
Bachman's very shocked that I knew
had
that.
to do the math real quick. I was like, you're right.
the play calling is a lot different than it was, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you're on the 1 yard line, you have one chance, hey, you're lining up a power run formation.
I-formation.
Nowadays, you see, hey, let's go 5 wide and see what we can do. Now, granted, the guys, quarterbacks usually coming from the shotgun, so there is that room, but still, it's like, I think nowadays, like, the play calling and the quarterbacks and all that are here to show off their stuff. Hey, look what I drew up that, was able to score on this play. Everything is a big, look at me contest now, and whatever. I'm not here to judge. Football is football.
Hey,
but
quick thing.
No, you are here to
Were
judge.
you shocked that I
That's
knew
what we
that?
all do. I'm sorry, what?
Were you shocked that I knew that?
No, Kyle. You're a 26-year-old man.
Yeah, but you think I'm down.
All right, so ready to do this?
I'm ready.
We have an announcement to make. Something
Dun, dun, dun.
everybody loves.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. You guys keep jumping on this song. It's going nowhere.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
What
That's
is
hilarious.
this ESPN graphic?
children of all ages.
Oh, tilt the mic down. Sorry.
I can't.
Could you squat for me?
What?
Because you can't. You got to talk to the
it's
other
a-
side. We can't really hear you.
What
about this? Is that better?
It's a little bit better.
Look, if I tilt it down, then I can't talk. Can I do this?
That's fine.
Well, get better mics.
I didn't get the mics. They're
Well, I'm not saying you did. I'm saying get better ones.
Anyways,
I guess that's fair.
I'll be collecting $20 at the end of the show. I'm going to buy one
Yeah,
microphone.
good luck with that.
Can we do this?
Yeah, that works.
All right. It's only momentarily, I guess, anyway. So we're going to do something that everybody loves, and that's more fantasy football.
Yeah. I'm having a great season
You
so
want to use
far.
that microphone? You make a talk show.
No.
High five.
Yes.
My
Hold
stack
on.
correction changed.
Let me just figure out which
Before we
microphone
start.
that is.
I want to
That's
say it's
backwards.
Jurassic
You're-
Park, but I
League
cannot
is
for the
doing
life
good
of
as
me
uncle,
think
but I
who
usually
said it.
suck in that league.
I want to say it's Jurassic Park, but I
Didn't
cannot
catch a
for the
word
life
of
of
that.
me who said it.
Yeah.
It is Jurassic Park. Is this on?
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out which one it
Not
is.
yet.
Try this one.
Check.
Check. Mic check.
No.
Mic check.
No.
Hold on.
Check.
There we go.
Mic check.
Break his femur.
So yeah, I want to say it's Jurassic Park, but
It is Jurassic Park.
I have no idea who said it.
That's hold on to your butts question from earlier. It is Jurassic Park, and the correct answer was Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh. Hold on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, GSWD proudly presents to you its one-time fantasy football loser of the year, Machcine Marshall.
Yeah!
So, more fantasy football. That's what we like here, right?
That's what we like.
It's that time of year.
I like your hair right now.
Thanks, bud.
Slick back.
You wouldn't like the smell coming off my anus, I'll tell you that.
I always love the smell coming off the anus.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's on.
No,
it's just a
yeah,
back.
it's-
I got you.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a no drafting kind of thing. It's going to be a week-to-week fantasy thing where you're going to get points and there's going to be disciplines for losing every week. So the way it's going to happen is there's 5 of us. Rita, you will not be partaking in this one. I'm sorry. The way it works is if you come in, it's going to be based off total points, which I'm just going to do by hand every week because it's going to be too difficult to do this in like a Yahoo or something. So it's going to be very simple scoring. Basically, the way it's going to work is if you come in first that week, you get 5 points. Second is 4. Third is 3. Fourth is 2. And if you're in last, you get 1 point. Now, if you come in last, you owe a full private stock shot the following week. If you come in last for that week. Fair?
Oh, Michael and Mass.
Fair?
I took my shot.
Fair?
Yeah, but you fight it.
I took my shot last week when I won everything,
But
and you
you
guys said
fight
you
it.
took it.
Well, we tricked you that day.
You didn't trick me. You guys were just full of shit.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah, you fight it.
But I guess
Because I was right.
we
you're
bullied
an ass.
we bullied you.
But so are you.
We're calling Aaron Donald a god.
He is.
Yeah, you missed that, Mock. He said that the reason Drew Brees was hurt was because he touched Aaron Donald, and that's what happens when a mortal touches a guy. Is that a private stock shot?
That's just gross.
Private stock gross?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys cool with that? If you come in last, you owe a private stock shot the next week?
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is you get, like I said, you get the points for what?
Lower the stand a little bit.
I like it like this.
Or then lower the mic a little bit.
Oh my god! Why do I have to talk to the top of every mic? What's the point of all this other gray shit if I can't talk into it?
That's pretty good.
You didn't answer my question.
It's just structure
What's the
around.
point of this part of the mic if no one can hear me?
It's just the way they designed.
So then they should have just not. Am I wrong here, Mark?
I mean, we just got to move
So
on.
what happens if you lose at the end of the season?
It's the same thing as the GSWD league. Whoever gets the most points creates a disgusting shot for the loser.
Man, another league. I don't want to come in last. It's pretty much the...
So here's the.
Can we elect not to play?
Nope. Yeah, sure you can, but you have to do a disgusting shot every week until the season's over. Anyone not want to play?
Can you elect...
Look, I know you fuckers. They're going to give me mayonnaise.
So the way we're gonna
Just straight mayonnaise.
all right. So the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna pick it from the wheel every week. So I'm gonna spin it, and the way it's gonna work is you pick from the division you land on.
That's cool.
So the roster is as follows: quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, tight end, a super flex,
Superflex.
a standard wide receiver, running back, tight end flex, kicker, and a defense.
Superflex.
And then scoring will be basically as follows. Points for rushing and receiving, it's 1 point per 10 yards. No fractional points. You finish with 89 yards, you don't get 8.9 points, you get 8 points. Okay?
Yep.
No bonuses. Also, quarterbacks, 1 for every 25. Again, no fractional points. 6 points for touchdowns, regardless of how they're scored. Defense, I'll break this stuff kind of more down off air for them individually. I'm not going to get into all of it. But it's basically just non-fractional, standard, kind of more rounded number scoring. Okay? You guys good?
Got it.
So you can pick from anybody here. So what I'm going to do is every week I'm going to pass around a notebook. I want you to kind of write down your rough scheduled draft team now. You can change it up to whenever you want. Once the game starts, those players that you've picked are locked in, type of thing. I just want like a general idea ahead of time. So I'm going to pass this around. Mass, you can start. We'll spin with you first. If you land on a red space, you get to pick any division you want. If you land on a space from a team that's already been picked, you just pick.
I was going to say, because that'd suck if you get like
So
the
there's-
third
one of the
shot.
quadrants.
Riddler, for that microphone, you can just talk right into it. You can
All right,
make out
you are
with
the
it.
NFC East, Mass.
NFC East.
You can make out with that mic. It's because the way it is, it's different than these ones. It's more.
Shut your whore mouth.
So
I
you're,
want him to sound good.
so you're the NFC East. So you can pick anybody that plays in the NFC East. Machcine washable. He doesn't even care.
I do.
This guy's too busy texting about curtains and drapes. All right, you got a you pick, sir.
Da-da-da-da.
The NFC East is off the table.
Well, that really sucks. Give me the AFC North.
All right. So, write down your division. On
I did that wrong.
write down your name in the quadrant. All right, Soul Spoon. Let's spin again because you got the AFC North.
Look at Kyle's face.
All right, Kyle, you got the AFC West.
God, that son of a...
Hope you like the AFC South, Kendall.
NFC
Red
West coming up.
You didn't write your pick.
Red Baron, you got a
I
you
don't think
pick.
we were doing that yet.
I picked the AFC
I'm
West.
asked
Give
him,
it
so I
to me.
No.
All right.
Oh, I see what we're doing here.
What are you guys messing up over there?
I've
I just want each of you to write your name in a quadrant, and then at some point throughout the night, just kind of fill in the roster.
yeah. So that was the thing. Like, I only saw Mass's name, so I didn't fill out my picks yet either. I was waiting till the quadrant was done.
It
like,
doesn't
to
matter.
everyone
It's just
have
at some point. So
Yeah,
who are you
alright.
going with?
I'm taking the NFC South.
NFC South, all right, and then this one is for Paulito.
Polito. Nice.
Come on, no whammies.
Uh-oh.
Big money, no whammy.
And I got the NFC West. Is that what you just picked?
No, South.
Oh, okay. All right. And I got the NFC West. All right. So there you go. We'll go over that. So the way it's going to work, it's going to be delayed because we don't usually wrap up our Monday night shows in time for Monday Night Football to be over. So what we'll do is obviously next week 3 of the NFL season, will be the first. Sorry, is this?
Well, yeah, these rosters will be for week 3.
They're going to be for week 3, but when we do our Monday show
you.
on week 4, we'll announce the week 3 winner. We'll go, and then we'll just do it from there on out. Everyone on board? Everyone good?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Good luck.
Salud. Yeah.
Souls, you're up now.
I know.
Well, who's this guy?
It's
That's
the Scottish Hammer.
Jamie Gillen, rather.
I was just.
I like the hair on him.
So
He's going to go for it.
He
Do I
better.
need to take these off for you? Do you need this off?
So yeah, here we go.
Oh, he punted.
It's funny we got the game on once again.
You know-
as we're broadcasting.
You know,
Very enticing.
I was very frustrated on Sunday trying to get the Giants game on TV. It wasn't on TV.
So you know what it was. So I was able to watch it because I was picking it up off of
The antenna.
and so I had the New York.
Yeah.
I have a question. Are we picking just the conferences that we got?
Yeah.
No, division. Just the division.
Or division, sorry.
You can only pick players out of your division.
Oh!
What the fuck did you think the point of the division for?
See, I think Kyle thought that, like, Mass Spun got that he picks a player from that division, but only one player. So then I think...
One we'd be here?
Because that's why he was like, you didn't make your pick. And I was like, oh.
No, I was with you. I knew.
Because that's what I thought we were doing.
Yeah,
So I
only
thought we
your
were
division.
just filling out the quad, and then, like, we'd do the...
So
no pick.
it's interesting because like
That's why I put the super flex in there. Because, so, for example, like, you might feel more comfortable starting... Just for shits and giggles, please don't. But, like, if you get the NFC South, like, 9 times out of 10, your running backs are probably going to be McCaffrey and Kamara. But you might feel more comfortable starting Devontae Freeman
against a certain opponent.
as in your flex as opposed to starting another quarterback.
You're right.
Right. So like this, but the super flex, like like if you have the AFC West, you probably would start Rivers in your super flex and Mahomes in your quarterback spot.
How many Cowboys do you think Mass is going to have his team for this next week?
Pretty much all of them.
All of them?
I would just do the whole roster.
Barkley's probably going to be there.
I would do the whole roster and then Barkley and then
Any Eagles?
Wentz.
Yeah.
You could do Wentz in your Superflex.
Playing the Lions.
See, I like this concept a lot because hypothetically you could have like back-to-back, it's entirely up to how well the division plays. And, if you're lucky and that
It's going to
division's
get fun,
doing well.
too, especially because the first week will be fun for everybody, but then we start getting into buys.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And if you land on a team,
that'll get real dicey.
if you got two teams on a bye,
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
no.
Fitzpatrick or Rosen? Both? Yes, please.
That's pretty much you're going to play one quarterback.
nah, he can't do it. He has to start both 'cause he's in.
Yeah.
Souls, you don't have to fill out the whole team right now. We can do this like over the break. And
I'm already doing it.
Yeah, but you made a segment that we're trying to get into right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember how we said we were going to do yours in hour 2?
I thought
It's hour 2.
I thought this was going to go way longer than what we did.
Nah, dude, everyone just had to get a division. That's all
It's
it
funny
was.
because Paul's, hey, mine's going to go real fast and we'll get into yours. Cool's like, yeah, cool.
So, you good?
Oh.
Yeah. Just
So do I need to take these division things off for your game?
Yeah, you should.
That's my favorite Souls reaction when he goes, oh! It's the best one.
We're going to find a better way for these.
We'll laminate them.
Rebecca?
That's right up Rebecca's alley.
If you laminate them, I will reimburse. Can one of you just go out to, like, Staples? You or Rebecca go out to Staples?
She'll go. I'll never go.
All right. Rebecca, can you go to Staples? I'll reimburse you for it. Go out and get those, like, adhesive magnet strips. I think this is magnetic, right?
Yeah, it's a magnet.
So,
Don't buy them.
Amazon.
Rental.
No, really, don't buy them. I might have
Man.
Oh, well,
There
great.
you go. My team sucks.
some. Yeah, Kyle, it helps if you give me the pen, too. Thank you.
Fucking bullshit. I'm not going to.
I'll save these because I know you don't, like, waste.
No, wait, question.
That's right.
Can they take someone that you already took?
How would that happen?
Yeah,
it's-
can't
You
it's-
start
can
the same
only pick
division.
people in your division.
No, like, if you got everybody.
What?
What?
Because then you get, like.
He had to
Kyle,
pick a division.
how am I going to pick a player out of your
he had,
division?
he had to pick a division. That's what the wild card was.
I didn't know that.
Souls, do you want to go ahead and do your...
All right, so what I have in mind is a fantasy-style wheel. So what that means is that we have the 4 major sports.
That's right, folks. Kyle's trying to do fantasy hockey here,
Yeah.
which we're doing this year.
We're going to do fantasy hockey
I'll
and
play.
basketball.
Gross.
Get the fuck over it, Mass.
I get the first pick.
Okay?
Can I have the first pick in hockey?
No.
So
Rebecca gets the first pick.
we're going to divide this into 5 categories, and I don't really have 10 in mind.
Kendall, I'm just going to throw this away. We're going to reprint these. Okay, I'll buy you a piece of paper.
All right. We're going to go with sleepers, duds, expected.
You writing this down anywhere?
I was hoping that you were.
With what?
Your mind.
It's amazing. I didn't realize we were so low on private stock. I thought we were going
Can I
to...
just have a piece of paper, Mock?
Yep.
It was the Mass a week ago pouring these monster shots, and now here we are.
Well, he figures the more he pours for you, the less he has to drink.
yeah,
right.
fucking
I have a-
dickhead.
Well, we do have actually Jefferson's
Fuck
Ocean,
you.
or Jefferson something. Jefferson
Collaboration.
Starship is still
Chef's
in,
collaboration.
is still in the fridge.
All right,
if
so
need be.
go ahead with your categories here.
Sleepers, duds,
Oh, hold on. Pen's out.
Milk duds and Whoppers.
expected.
Pen's like
All
working
your
for
favorite
us
movie
now.
theater treats.
There we go.
Can you shut your
All right,
whore
so
mouth?
sleepers. Hurry up. Come on, Souls.
Sleeper, duds,
Noun laters.
Okay.
expected.
Okay.
What's another word for out of nowhere?
Surprise.
There we go.
Reaches.
Or reach.
Reach.
Reaches and surprises.
2 separate categories.
Okay. What's the 5th one?
We just said it.
Sleepers, duds, expected, reaches.
And surprises. They're not the same thing.
Okay. And then we're doing what are the 4? We're doing the 4 sports.
Yep.
Sports.
NFL.
So I put you guys to think out of the
MLB.
box. I know football already started, but you got the FanDuel. Baseball,
And MLB's almost over.
you got FanDuel. We're helping out the guys that are addicted to gambling, like myself.
This is actually a self. What do they call that?
This is a self-help tool,
Right.
but instead it's just making it worse.
Right. Yeah. What do they call the thing for addicts when you get sat down?
With basketball and hockey.
Intervention.
Yeah, it's a self-intervention.
With hockey and basketball around the corner, you know. Yeah, he's a great tight end. Anyways.
What?
Fucking making fun
commenting on the game.
asshole.
That thing we're not supposed to be doing?
That is happening.
I didn't do it.
You just did.
I'm making fun of two assholes in the room.
Finish your thought.
Alert on my phone, Odell Beckham Jr. is out of the game currently. Questionable to return.
Good.
Left to his own power.
Hope he broke his femur.
Yeah, he was running pretty good on a broken leg there, Kyle.
Well,
Jack
all you
Youngblood
Browns
did it.
fans, you
It's
guys
all the
are
endorphins.
So, Souls, do you want to go first to lead by example here?
Yes, go for it. Well, we got to go by the color.
So I already did it. NFL's yellow, NHL's blue, MLB's green, NBA's red, and then you pick for white. And then Sleepers is yellow, Duds is red, Expected's blue, Reachers is green, Surprises is white.
All right.
I love the sound of the wheel. Never
I'm
gets
just
old
trying
to
not to
me.
spin it too fast and waste too much time, right? So you got MLB and Sleeper.
All right.
So explain what you're doing for both the listeners at home and the folks in studio.
Okay, so right now I'm thinking about teams that are still in the hunt and they haven't clinched the division. So right now I would think of Francisco Lindor. You said Sleepers, right?
Yep.
All right, I lied. I'm thinking of Jose Ramirez.
Okay.
And I'm saying Jose Ramirez because, one, he had a very down year. But in order for them to make the playoffs, he had to step up. And in order for the Indians to even make it close, they got to figure it out in the lineup as well. So if he goes, I believe that he'll catch on fire. He's that good of a hitter. He'll take the Indians not to the playoff, but he'll hit well enough for them to make a splash.
All right.
Make sense?
I follow.
All right.
So 1 and 2, you follow?
Machcine, you're up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ba-bum, ba-da-bum.
Give him hockey.
All right, you got green, which is also MLB.
All right.
And from there, we're going to go to, looks like we're going to stop at blue, which is expected. So I would assume this is like a lock-in. It's like the guy that you're just going to start.
Well, this year, I mean, we did our fantasy baseball league.
We did?
We did.
Was that the thing I did that weird draft in and then got all the White Sox and then never paid attention to again?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I losing in that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Did we do the disgusting shot for that too?
Not yet.
Yes.
Not yet. We're in the
Well, we haven't done it yet.
that-
But
No, I'm saying,
like,
was that
yes.
the stipulation?
Yeah.
yeah.
We're in the playoffs right now.
Are we?
Yeah.
I didn't make it.
We're in the playoffs?
Yeah.
All right, so 7th place is Jeff's team at 203 wins. Paul's team is at 135 wins.
Yeah, you were like 100+ games back from the guy ahead of you.
You just said I had more wins than Jeff.
No, Jeff had 203 wins. You had 135.
Last time I checked, if an MLB team gets 135 wins, that's pretty good. So, fuck all y'all. Did pretty good for last place.
That's true.
But I mean, this season for me, it was Kettle Marte from the Diamondbacks.
Hey, you think there's any chance that they could just take like a ligament out of Ben's elbow and put it in Breeze's thumb, and they're both good?
Could you imagine like Breeze has his like extended thumb like
Is Ben getting Tommy John?
would be
I don't
hilarious.
know. I don't even know what the injury
All right,
was.
go back to Mocker.
But I mean, is it Kettle or Kettle?
Either way.
But I mean, this young kid from the Diamondbacks, he was like a stud this year. Stat line on the season is and it went away.
I'm going to spin while you talk.
Yeah, but I mean, he's batting .330, 95 runs scored, 32 homers, and 91 RBIs. I mean, the guy was just a fantasy stud for me. That's why I was in second place. Take that.
All right, Matt, you got NBA sleeper.
Are we doing team or player?
Player. It's fantasy. Hey, how'd everybody do in the pick'ems this week, by the way?
Ooh.
I have the.
You want to save that for?
We
We'll
can say
do it at the end.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm beating everybody.
Nice. I forgot all about that. Good on
Well,
you.
we had one guy that made no picks.
Oh.
Who was it?
I bet you can't guess.
Is he not in the room today?
Yep.
Well, hold on. How do we know he didn't make any picks? How do we know he did? Because you can't see their picks.
No, but it.
So how do you know he didn't just pick all wrong?
There's no way. Well, actually, I'm sorry. You can't
No.
see.
I know. I'm busting your balls. I'm joking.
Oh wait.
You can see their picks. I already looked through it all. Come on, NBA sleepers. Who's somebody in the NBA that you would draft in your fantasy that you wouldn't necessarily start every week or start every game, but would have like big play potential?
Van Vliet? I don't know.
I think that's fair.
That's a fair.
That's a fair answer. He's a starting point guard on a team.
Upper middle of the road, kind of like
like
coming
average
up.
to above average. He's he's playing on a team that just came off of he's got success under his belt now. I think it's
Would
fair.
Pascal Siakam have been an acceptable answer?
No.
No, he's not.
He's your best player.
Kyle comes right out with it. No.
But it's not because he's a lock. He's just like
He's your best player.
no. He's just more like you play him like in the better matchups, and you might sit him in like the worst matchups. But like
Would Kyle Lowry be an acceptable answer?
no.
Your first,
Kyle Lowry is your best player.
You could have said Serge Ibaka.
That's where I was going fourth, but
Maybe we just only thinking Raptors.
listen. Stick with your first. That was a decent. Brother, is this you?
This is for me.
All right.
I got you pick, and I got blue,
Which
which is expected.
So Papa John's. What do you think you're gonna get when you order a pie?
pepperoni and pineapple.
Oh God.
So we'll go the homer route here. Expected would be somebody. I think if there are fantasy hockey players out there, we'll go the Jonathan Tays route.
Right.
He's not the guy that goes out, but fantasy hockey is a lot more than just scoring goals and getting assists. You get points for hits, you get points for pass deflections,
And penalties.
penalties, plus minuses, all that stuff. Jonathan Tays is one of the best two-way players in all of hockey. Jonathan Tays is one of the best defensive forwards. And Jonathan Tays, when he does go on a hot streak on the offensive side, it's a monstrous hot streak.
Another acceptable answer is Kucherov.
What's his first name?
Vladimir.
Vodka.
Nikola.
I like vodka.
I'm closer than those assholes.
Yeah, I wasn't trying, Kyle.
Ooh, you pick. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
You pick two. Let me get a mix pick. All right, you got. So it's your pick. What league we going with? We haven't done NFL.
I'll do NFL. I'll do the easy one.
Shocker.
NFL, and I need you to spell Nelson Aguilar.
All right, I got this.
No, it's sleepers.
Sleepers. Well,
So give me a sleeper for next week.
a sleeper for next week.
Yeah, upcoming week.
All right. Let me
You
think.
can pull up the schedule if you'd like.
Kyle has such a disdain for me when I talk any fantasy football, but I will take a look real quick, briefly, just to kind of get a glimpse of what we're going to be kind of looking at.
There's somebody on your team that is a very acceptable answer.
A very acceptable answer.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I'll give you a hint. It's a synonym for butthole. Not the name, the position.
Well, it's funny. You read my mind. See, I drifted right to my guy who was a big play for me in Vance McDonald. Now, going into
He's
the game
not a
for
sleeper?
Seattle.
I won't say he's a sleeper.
Well, I mean,
What is he then?
So by definition, because you had a big game, you can't be a sleeper in a back-to-back week.
He's going to be a lot of people starting tight ends.
How do you figure?
Because not a lot of good tight ends.
In a standard 10-team league, Vance McDonald is not a regularly started tight end.
Yes, he is.
No.
He's like 8 or 9.
I bet you he's not.
Well, the known guys have 0 points coming their way.
So, all right, so I'm going to stick with Vance McDonald because he's a guy who has a lot of upside potential. Not just because of the situation that has unfolded, and it seems that after seeing one game that Mason Rudolph seems very comfortable throwing to Mason Rudolph as we use the NFL term, quote, safety blanket position. And so for me, just because he had a big game coming off of a 2-touchdown, X amount of yard performance, I think he's a guy going up against a San Francisco team that is streaking. It's hot, being 2-0, whatever, call it what you want. Unproven team in San Francisco, but a guy who could,
Now here's a guy
that perhaps would be a guy you anticipate being kind of just, what his projected points he will meet, I think he will exceed. That's why he is a sleeper.
In ESPN, NFL.com, and Yahoo Fantasy Sports, Vance McDonald was only started by 40% of teams across all three of those platforms.
Although Vance McDonald is overall considered a tier 2 tight end.
Yeah, most people will not play 2 tight ends in a week.
No.
And another interesting thing here, too, he's going against a team that drafted him in the 49ers. And if there's a chance for you to kind of want to showcase your stuff versus a team that, didn't hold on to you or whatever, this is your opportunity.
How long did he play there?
A year, 2, maybe.
All right, Souls. NHL reaches.
So
Wayne Gretzky.
there we go.
Gonna have a great season.
Probably a reach at this point in his career.
Nah, still a lock. That guy comes in and you're putting him on. He's starting in 100% of leagues. At least week 1.
Imagine if he said he was coming back for a game.
Be
I'm going to
insane.
go with the goalie aspect. And just because
Tuca.
he's had a lot of success in the past, I think John Quick is the guy who can come back strong and really.
I already thought we were talking reaches.
It is a reach because he sucked the last few years. I think he'll be able. I think he'll be able to. I think the defense will be better for him, which makes it easier for him to block shots on net. But I think he's going to really push teams over the edge this year.
Think if Wayne Gretzky came back for a game, someone would really try and lay a hit on him?
No.
You don't think it'd be like that one guy
PK Subban.
that wants to be the answer to
Definitely
the
not PK
trivia
Subban.
question?
If anything, it would be Ryan Reeves.
Someone just like a real blatant, like dirty hit.
Brett Burns.
He's not like that either. Ooh, Mock. You also get NHL.
Oh, yuck.
And you have expected. So who's like a lock in?
Well,
Guarantee I know what he's going to say.
Wayne Gretzky's going to have a great first game when he comes back.
And retires again.
Play for Edmonton.
After adding 26 points to his career.
Could you imagine if he came back and put up like a hat trick? And not like because they let him, like he earned it.
Probably would.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Especially if he's on Edmonton.
So, I mean, if we're talking an expected guy to be productive for fantasy, I believe Paul already said Jonathan Toews, so I can't say him. So Patrick Kane.
Not the guy I was thinking.
Kyle was definitely thinking you were going to say John Tavares.
Nope.
Austin Matthews.
Ovechkin.
Nope. Wasn't even on the radar.
Should be.
But yeah. Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane.
Very expected. No doubt there.
Mass, NHL.
Great.
Look at all this blue. Doesn't matter how much I try, you guys are never going to watch a game, so it doesn't matter.
I did pitch.
All right, NHL sleepers. Quick, let me go to Google.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vamp.
Quick search term.
Biggest NHL sleepers 2019.
We're going to go.
Oh, number 7, Wayne Gretzky.
Gonna have a great week 1.
I'm trying to find
Start
a
a
name
Twitter
right now.
campaign.
The best jersey in hockey I got.
I almost wish Wayne Gretzky retired and then did the Michael Jordan thing, tried playing baseball and other sport, and then was adequate. And
Played for Toronto.
Came back again.
All right, we're going to go with Ryan Getzlaff off the Miami Ducks.
Alright. Take a fucking shot, you asshole.
I don't know. I just picked a name.
No, first
The
you said
Miami Ducks?
You said Miami Ducks.
Did I?
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, something's not right here.
At
Something's
least,
not right. I probably
kind of know
shouldn't
what the
take a
fuck you're
shot.
talking about.
I probably shouldn't drink this.
Yes,
Why?
you should.
Would you rather drink this or what's in that canister?
Like this canister?
No, that one. The clear one.
And that's at the end.
You would
too.
rather drink that? Then drink that.
That's
Come on, dude. It's the fucking Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
That's the brine of the prize.
I wouldn't even call him a sleeper. He's the best fucking player.
I just pulled
That's
it.
not
I
true.
just.
He's up there.
Nope.
He is in fucking
Comes
NHL
Kyle just
18.
attacking people, trying to do their best.
He says the Miami
Like
Ducks.
Kyle watches hockey.
I know.
The Miami Ducks.
Kyle, we understand he said that, but how many times do you say the
Who
wrong
does Max
thing?
Domi
A
play
lot.
for?
But not
Who
that
does
bad.
Max Domi play for? Domi.
Harry Potter.
Nice sauce. You of all people would have never made that reference.
MTL. I don't know what that is.
Montreal.
Montreal.
It wasn't the right name, but good on him.
That's who I'm picking.
Okay.
Atlanta Thrashers.
Kyle, I think you need that.
Kyle, you also owe some private stock because they're not the Mighty Ducks anymore. That name got dropped in the late 90s.
They should be.
It was a bad
I don't
movie.
care about what they should be named.
Am I supposed to read
The
that?
Browns should have a logo.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't throw it at
It
you.
was Paul that threw it at you.
Pass that down for Souls.
What, you gotta share that shot? What's the deal there?
All right. NFL duds.
Man, we're gonna get new private stock next week.
Hey, you can really just say Kirk Cousins because fuck that guy.
Yeah, no kidding.
I feel like Kirk Cousins, though, is always like a sleeper, though.
He is. He's such an enticing name when you see him, and then he's just like, "Oh, I'm not that good, guys. You should know this by now.
Fuck.
I've been having the same season for 6 years now. Made a lot of money doing it.
Whee!
How you like that?
You like that? You like that? Good times.
I'm kind of liking these Jets uniforms, though.
Oh, God, no.
I'm kind of liking them. I never cared for the shade of green they always had, but I like those helmets.
What was that?
The shade of green? Kyle, I don't acknowledge that word.
Well, you should.
No. There's only a few in
Paul,
your made-up
what is it?
language that I like.
What?
What is it?
Gren?
Thank you.
Shade of Gren. Yeah, their old jerseys look like someone, like... I've described this, and Kendall's always got a chuckle out of it. Basically, their old jerseys, it looked like when you were coming out of the womb, the New York Jets came into your mother's hospital room and said, you know what? This guy's going to be a Jet. Here's his jersey now. Put it in the back seat of your dad's car until you're ready to play. Let it get real bleached. Then you're going to wear it.
Good
It looks
to go.
like the part of the lobster you just throw out. You know that green part?
But it's like pale green, and then the two-tone part that like the NFL's adapted looks like someone's just been sweating in that portion of that color jersey. All right, so we're doing duds, right?
Duds, correct.
Duds. I'm doing duds.
Dudes.
NFL dudes, week 3.
Dudes. All right, my dude of the week is Aaron Jones, running back of the Green Bay Packers, going up against the Denver Broncos.
All right. Pretty stout.
Well,
run
Denver's
defense
got a very good front seven in both coverage and pass rush, so I think that they're going to really be able to limit. And this isn't a shot at you or anything, so I'm just looking through the trying to find some like a notable name. So they're very good at keeping backs contained both in the passing game and the running game, which they've done this year in general so far. And it's only 2 games, but still.
Packers at Denver or vice versa?
I think it's Packers are at Denver.
Which is always a struggle, you know. Say what you want about a team that, you know, is...
No,
you know,
Denver is at Green Bay.
Denver's at Green Bay. All right, well.
Wow. All right, we're going to make the Bears go to Denver, and then Denver's going to Wisconsin.
Just like that.
And then the Bears, they're going to go ahead and they're going to go straight to Washington, D.C. All right, you're up next. You got a U pick.
A U pick?
You got a Mick pick, too?
I do got a Mick pick,
You want to
too.
get a Mick pick, too? And you got sleepers.
All right, sleepers, I'll do MLB. MLB. Now we're going to continue on from this season. Correct?
2 seasons ago.
So who's your
Okay.
Mulb sleeper? Come on, who's your Marlboro Light sleeper?
My Marlboro Light sleeper. Well, you know what? I'm going to kind of keep with that color scheme of red and white. We're going to go to the
Best jerseys baseball?
No, unfortunately. We're going to go with the Washington Nationals. And a guy who's played well, not exceptional in Trey Turner. I expect him to really turn it on big time for the end of the year.
He's their second best player.
Kyle, where is his name in the discussions week to week?
We don't talk baseball half the time.
I'm talking about in general. You watch a lot of baseball.
Seriously?
A lot of discussion.
We're going to sit here and we're going to gripe about not talking baseball that much?
I'm just saying.
You guys can't even watch a
The first
fucking
thing you hear about
hockey
the
game.
national fans
I
is
watch
they
hockey.
sucked without him.
And then you get hockey questions and you're like, oh, fuck, can we get something else?
It doesn't mean I know the sport yet. I watched basketball last year and I still don't know shit.
So, guys, do you consider Trey Turner to having an exceptional year right now?
He missed like 50 games.
Okay, be that as it
But
may.
think about it. When did they start winning?
upon his return. So, Kyle, what does that tell you?
That they're better with him. That he's an elite player.
Okay. That does not make him an elite
Yes,
player.
It does.
It does not make him an elite player.
Hit,
and I tell you, the
the
Nationals have not been. And they've been an underwhelming team across the board in general for having the roster that they do.
The Nationals, they've went above and beyond.
Kyle,
I picked them to make the playoffs this year.
How have the Nationals gone above and beyond?
Because they weren't supposed to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Nationals benefited from an underwhelming Phillies team.
It doesn't matter. They're first in the wild card.
It does matter
For like 3 months.
but it does matter. It doesn't matter because if the Phillies played up to expectations, then the Nationals wouldn't be where they are because they'd have more losses handed to them, and they wouldn't be first in the wild card.
Other than the Braves have molded themselves into the team that they are. That is extremely good. When you look at the roster that the Nationals have, I would anticipate those two teams, the Braves and the Nationals, that would have been a more close race to be battling.
You ready?
Ready for what?
I'm going to tell you a stat line.
I'm not discrediting his numbers.
I'm just explaining to you.
The point I'm trying to make to you right now is that I think he's a sleeper in the sense that because of we're getting down to the final stretch, if there's a team that you want to, a team that's
Gross. So everyone look at the TV real quick. Gross.
Hey, Bearskins, big fan. It will be on here on Spreaker. You won't be able to hear it, but we'll be talking about it when we're not talking about it. But a guy who to make a big push for them going into a very probable playoff situation, Trey Turner is going to be the guy to put them over the edge.
I disagree, but
what problem do you have with me saying that? Other than that, we know he's good. That is not. I'm not saying that he's not good.
If you said Gerardo Parra, I'd agree.
But why?
Because Trey Turner's more of a lock than a sleeper.
But how can you say that he's a lock? Because exactly what you said, he came off injury. How many guys do you know have come off of injury for X amount of time on the longer side and have not performed?
This is sports related.
Yeah.
So do you want to read it? Or you want me to read it?
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right, so just read a tweet off of Reddit. Says, hear me out. If Batman is canonically about 32, then he was born in 1986. And if his parents were killed leaving a movie theater when he was 10 years old, then there is a very real possibility that they were seeing Space Jam.
I like that.
That's funny. That's funny.
So you got NBA surprises.
My NBA surprise is going to be Terry Rozier.
Roger.
That's not fair. Pick somebody different.
All right.
You can't pick the only semi-talented guy on the worst roster in basketball.
All right, fine. Nicholas Alexander Walker.
All right.
From the
Much
Pelicans.
better. Much better.
In the Las Vegas League, he's
going to have one of those really, really round names on the jersey. Caldwell Pope.
I hate those.
He averaged 20 points a game in the Las Vegas League, and I think that they're going to use him a lot in the regular season. He's going to be their sixth man. I think he had potential to win sixth man of the year. I think he takes. I know he's only a rookie, but I think he takes a step up.
What do you think about that high praise from Souls on the Pels? Mock.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So what do you think about the high praise on the Pels?
You didn't know he was a Pelican.
Listen, Kyle, you don't need to say that.
Am I wrong?
You don't need to say that.
Try to constantly discredit.
I know.
Mock, you got NFL surprises. So next week, who could be the surprise fantasy breakout guy?
If you say
Kirk
Mason Rudolph,
Cousins.
I'm cool with it.
Who are they playing next week?
49ers?
He could be.
Okay, James Washington's also a good answer.
I just keep trying to figure out why the Mass is watching the game on his laptop. He's got the game on his laptop, but he keeps watching the TV.
What's the matter? You like my champagne?
You also didn't have it on for the first quarter.
I forgot. We were in the heat. We are doing a radio show, by the way. That was a Carlito's Way reference for you guys listening at home.
If you say Nick Folk, not Nick Folk.
Did you watch the NFL 100 Best Plays?
Luke Folk is currently playing for the
Louis
Jets
Guzman's
right
in
now.
it.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know who could be a breakout next week?
Luke Folk.
Surprise, not a breakout, a surprise.
Well, surprise, Jameis Winston. He's primed for it, playing a 0-2 Giants team.
is he going to surprise us how many interceptions he's going to throw?
I mean, if he does it next week, then they should cut him. I mean, he's primed to have his big game and then get that team kind of.
Which I can agree with that because the Bucks defense is nothing special. So the Giants could keep scoring to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Did I not hand this off?
Nope.
Oh, sorry. I thought I did. I was going to wonder how I got it back.
What division did you pick?
I had the AFC North.
The North.
What Steelers did you take?
None of them.
An asshole. James Washington, bro.
I took Juju and James Conner.
Oh, you.
All right, Mash, you got MLB duds.
One, pick the Phillies. I agree with
it's
you.
Carlos Carrera. Guy's been hurt all year.
Yeah,
I'm going to pick that.
Fuck that guy, man. I drafted him real high, too. I was kind of bummed about it.
Yeah, just because he got hurt in the regular season means he's going to tear it up in the postseason.
If he plays.
But he's still a dud for fantasy baseball.
Yeah, you're right.
If he plays. That guy, he came back and was immediately back on the 60-day DL.
Anybody care to have a sip of the Jersey Crown?
I do.
Pass it around. Pass it around. Pass it around.
Yes! Got Minka Fitzpatrick.
Did
you really?
Yep.
God, I thought Kyle got some really bad news.
I know, me too. I got a shit.
I thought he was good enough to throw up.
The Steelers are trading a 2020 first-round pick to the Dolphins.
That's a good pick.
All right.
That's a good pickup.
We gave up a first-round pick.
Who cares? He's on
have a high one.
He's on a rookie deal for the next 3 years, and he's
I
already.
I don't know how to feel.
That's. Oh, I hate you guys for that.
What do you mean you don't know how to feel it? You just put your headphones down and then fist pumped the washer.
I know.
You like that? You like that?
All right, MLB duds.
All right,
Jalen Ramsey's next.
Next, I was about to say.
Where's Jalen Ramsey going? Dun, dun.
Pittsburgh. Another
LA.
first-round pick.
LA.
Wheels spinning
guys.
round and round.
Yeah. All right. So I got NHL reaches.
So you don't.
So let's see. I'm gonna pull up the.
I might need you
What?
to. Sorry.
They're talking non-show discussion. Makes me sick.
Ooh, Steve Wilkes.
Booth.
Hashtag Steve Wilkes Booth.
All right,
Follow
sorry,
him on
so
Instagram.
I'm looking. You guys can talk.
That's
about
right.
it.
That's right. It's kind of.
Who do the Cowboys
NHL
play
is
next
not on the
week?
money. They are playing. I just looked it up too.
Miami.
They're playing the Dolphins.
At home.
Gonna go ahead and put Witten down.
You know what's interesting? The Dolphins
Over
were.
Evan Ingram.
Nobody over Evan Ingram. He's one of the 2 giants you could play in fantasy.
That's
Evan
what I
Ingram
thought.
And the kicker.
What do you mean?
I had him the year he was very injured. I think it was last year. Or the year before. I can't remember. It was last year. What a bummer it was for me, who drafted him very high, thinking he was going to have the year that he's having this year.
I was going to say, he's been great so far this year.
Superflex can be anything.
It could be just about
It could
anything.
be a defense.
I recommend kicker.
So I'm going to go with Toronto Maple Leaf right winger William Nylander. I think that's somebody that a lot of people could reach for in fantasy, just because having Austin Matthews and John Tavares, a lot of people just automatically assume picking anybody on that offense is going to be worth it,
Right.
because they're going to put up points. There's going to be, line packages are always changed. Tavares and Matthews are not always going to be on the ice, just like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews. Jonathan Toews and Kane are very rarely on the ice together. A lot of times they anchor 2 different lines, so you can have 2 strong lines instead of 1 really good line. So with that, you're going to see a lot of substitution packages on the penalty kill, on the power play, the 4-man power play, the 3-man penalty kill, 3-on-3 hockey, goalie pulls, extra skaters, that whole 9 yards. You're going to see all kinds of different packages. So I can see a lot of people thinking that picking a top, like a higher line offensive player like Nylander is worth doing, but yeah, dude. Hey, but sorry, I got to go to the gram for a second. But yeah, so that's my pick on that one. Kendall,
I'm in. Souls, can you pass down? I've been trying to have that Canadian whiskey there.
We're talking about this throwback from The Office, Mark?
Just in general, really.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Kendall, you have MLB Reaches.
MLB reaches. So we're talking for next year. Correct.
No. No, like
Could be this year.
yeah.
Like, who was someone that drafted high and...
Actually, I'm gonna double check real quick. I had some players that I'd like to talk about. Trey Turner for a second, Kyle.
You guys do that. We're going to take a break.
Real quick. I just want to see. I'm curious about players who I drafted, and if anybody was a reach for me. I made a lot of moves in baseball this year. Well, actually, a huge one, because the anticipation was so high, and he spent, a majority of the season injured, was Dylan Betances.
Yep.
I was very excited to have him. I can't remember how early he went down, but a guy posed for, the Yankees to be part of that three-headed monster there with Chapman and the other dude, which, for you baseball fans, is the other guy besides Betances and Chapman. With that being said, he sat on the bench in the injured reserve for most of the year until he just cleared. I don't know if he played last night, or actually I don't know if it was even today, being a Monday, September 16th, 2019, that he was back and available to play. But that's my guy,
Rebecca.
So Dylan Betances was a reach, especially for me. So sorry, baseball.
That's for you to fill in your roster.
Well, thank you,
again, you remember, you guys can make changes. Just text me if you want to make a change during the week.
Thank you kindly.
All right, so who's up? Souls?
Souls.
All right, Souls, you have NFL expected.
All right. So, obviously the
Steelers defense, for sure. They're going to be so good this week.
Is that true, Kyle?
No, but...
Oh, my God, the Jets have minus 12 passing yards?
Yeah.
Yikes.
But...
They're on their third string quarterback. Give them a little bit of a break.
No, I'm sorry. Minus 12 passing yards is unacceptable.
It's a little surprising.
But my expected pick is Patrick Mahomes. I think he just keeps doing what he's doing. I don't think it matters what the receiver is. He's going to get the job done.
That's fair. We got a couple more spins on us, and then we're going to get to break. So, Machcine Washable, you have NFL reaches. Next week. Look at next week's schedule. Off next week's schedule.
All right.
Nick Chubb.
Oh, actually, you do however you want to do it. You do however you want to do it, baby.
Let me pull it up here real quick. I like that you said that real soft into my ears.
Top comment on Reddit about the Mika trade. Can you play quarterback?
Mason Rudolph.
I think he looked all right.
It certainly looks fine. That's just
He
very
threw
funny.
one pick. It wasn't even his fault.
I'm sorry.
Anybody can look
reaches,
fine in
reaches.
a throwaway situation. You guys weren't even trying to win that game.
Yeah, you're right.
You guys are tanking for Tua.
Can't. We just traded our first round pick.
You'll get it back somehow.
You'll trade Ben to the Bengals.
To the Patriots.
Oh!
That'd be so ridiculous. Could you imagine?
Imagine if they traded Ben to the Jets.
I think an upcoming reach for this week will be Cam Newton. And he's going to be an enticing play because they're playing Arizona.
But the defense hasn't looked bad.
No, they haven't. But that's what I mean. Like, people are going to look and be like, Arizona hasn't looked terrible, but can't, everyone's just kind of waiting for Cam to look like he did a few years ago. So I think people are going to play him, and he's going to deliver you a whopping 6 points from your quarterback position. And you're going to be pretty much mad for a whole week.
Potentially.
Because guess who did it this past week? This
That
guy.
Yeah, lost Kyle again.
I'm not looking forward to this.
We don't know that yet.
Mass NBA surprises.
We don't know that yet.
Surprise me. I'm a bad.
You know what's funny? That's exactly what I was thinking.
The song's terrible.
It is, but I love the beat so much.
Billy Eyelash, I believe is how you pronounce that.
2 thumbs down.
Real dirty song, though. I have bruises on both my knees for you.
Yeah. They
My
play that
dog said to me the other day.
What?
I don't know.
He's got a schnauzer.
It's just the name I know from the draft, so I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to take a private stock for it. RJ Barrett.
I'll accept that.
Cool.
Is this a surprise? Yeah. Who else do the Knicks have? Matt, Mark, tell me, who else do they have?
Oh, they got Kenny Knox.
All right.
Is his name Kenny?
Kenyon Knox.
Is it Kenny?
Kevin Knox.
Damn it! I was between the two of them, and I knew it was one of them.
I said Kenyon, by the way.
I'd like to talk more about how bad Billie Eilish is.
I have NBA duds, and we're going to go right out of the gate with Dwight Howard.
Ooh, Mr. D. White Howard.
I don't think Dwight Howard is going to get he's going to have the same exact issues he had with the Lakers last time. Now because last time he had Pau Gasol with him, and he wasn't getting all the touches he wanted. This time he's got Anthony Davis. He's going to get even less touches. And I think that everyone is riding the Lakers' dick train because they have LeBron and Anthony Davis, and that is about it. They have a very, in my opinion, overrated Kyle Kuzma, and I think a lot of people are going to be high on picking Dwight Howard just because LeBron's on the team. So
Yeah,
I think it's a dud pick.
2-0 Cowboys.
Mr. Peter Pinos here, praising his Cowboys.
You can join the show when they play a real defense. Not a real one. Nah.
I like your getup you got there. The polo and slacks.
I think you look good over there.
Got a good bulge going in this.
Yeah, you look hot.
Yeah. Sold.
So let's just take you upstairs for a moment.
Are you watching TV?
Yeah, I got the
game on.
How'd you get the game on?
Your Xfinity thing worked. You
Oh, it did?
just clicked it and it played.
Well, we're going to go to break. We'll have this conversation off the air. We're going to go to
good
break.
call,
We'll be
good
back
call.
in about 7 minutes. And we're going to wrap it up with some fun stuff in the third hour. We'll be back in a hot minute.
And now, back to Getting Sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by fucktards.
Aww.
Yeah, well, you are one. You know why? Because you were late.
Next closest.
Wasn't really my fault.
It doesn't matter.
Everything
Still
I
your fault.
planned went well. It was outside influences.
Still your fault.
Fair. What?
Second closest opening is Patriots, 17.5 against the Jets.
What, next week?
Yeah.
What was their plus minus for the Dolphins this week?
19.
Yeah. It's just going to get worse every week.
No, because they won't keep facing teams that are doing so well.
Do the Dolphins go 0-16?
No.
They might.
No, like really.
I don't think so.
No, because it's the teams that are projected. I mean, like the Browns did it that year. Like they were really bad. But like the year the Lions went 0-16, they weren't supposed to go 0-16.
But
everyone's expecting them to go 0-16. They'll play upset to someone.
But I mean, think about it.
They have to play the Cowboys. They have to play the Chargers. They have to play the Redskins. They have to play the
Jets
Bills.
and the Bills twice.
Yeah.
But even so, I mean,
Steelers,
regardless of
Colts,
who they're playing, they're
Browns.
starting to trade like good players away.
Yeah, but all it takes is lucky bounce one way or the other. I mean, who knows?
I mean, you got
With the
Rosen
deficit
and
that they've
Fitzpatrick
had?
completing touchdown passes to the other team.
They even beat
Although
the
I forget the receiver's name because I never heard it before.
He bobbled it and gave up.
He had two huge drops. Rosen put two beautiful passes on that guy, back-to-back
Are you
passes.
happy now that you guys didn't trade for Rosen?
Yeah, I was happy then. I didn't want him.
Yeah, he's just as bad as if you guys traded for Wilson.
I wanted him real bad.
Luke Wilson? You wanted Luke Wilson?
Wanted Luke.
What about Owen?
Any Wilson, pretty much.
Owen? He'd go.
Any of them. Phil.
Wow.
Wow.
That's wild.
Odell took one to the house, Kyle.
Did he?
Yeah,
Nope.
89-yarder.
Called back. And, Greg, whatever his face there, he's mad about it.
Greg Maddux.
Fuck Greg
Greg
Williams.
Maddux.
Oh, I know Odell cut his hair.
playing the Jets.
Fuck Greg Williams, by the way.
All right,
Yeah,
so
he
let's do
does
some
weird-
roundtable discussion. Mass, lead it off.
All right, so after the interesting turn of events in Jacksonville, Jalen Ramsey has requested a trade. Reports are that it could be done this week. Jaguars are requesting a first-round pick and more, reportedly.
So how long before he's a Patriot? I mean, is that the question here?
He ain't going to the Patriots.
I saw a meme on
There's
on
already
Twitter.
they're already out there.
I saw a meme on Twitter. It's just Jalen Ramsey wants to be traded. It's just Belichick walking out to the WWE.
Belichick would, but the Patriots would have to give up more than any other team because they're probably going to have the 32nd pick. So their first round pick is just a high second round pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they'd have to give up more, and Belichick doesn't give up more.
No.
Belichick doesn't really
Although
trade.
if he could have Gilmore and Ramsey,
But he doesn't trade like that. He doesn't trade a lot of pieces for one good piece. He waits for teams to make fuck-ups and then goes out and capitalizes on those fuck-ups.
that's true.
Like, he got Josh Gordon for nothing.
What?
He got Antonio Brown for nothing.
Where are we thinking he ends up?
Well, the two teams that he said he wanted to go to were Nashville and Las Vegas.
So he wants to go to the Titans or the Raiders.
Yeah.
Two interesting teams.
Wait, what?
Kyle named a team that you wouldn't know. I mean,
No,
if you
that's
know
what he said. That's what he said.
No, what I'm saying is, where the Titans play, I mean, very rarely do people call them by the city they play in. In Las Vegas, a team where the Raiders don't play yet. That's where I was.
I can see more of the
spoofing on.
Raiders. They had the money.
Yeah, they have the picks.
But do they have the spunk for Jalen Ramsey?
They couldn't handle Antonio Brown.
Indianapolis.
Well,
Yeah?
wait a minute. Brown made that completely unhandleable.
That's true.
I mean, he made that situation impossible.
But I'll tell you what. You know what he did do?
Colluded.
HBO Hard Knocks had the highest ratings they've ever had. So therefore, more collusion. Thank you. You heard it here a second time from me first.
Indianapolis, I could see being big players in that. They have tons of money to spend.
yeah, they missed out on the free agent market a lot this offseason.
I don't think they missed out on it. I just don't think that anybody that, like, I think
They weren't going to overpay for someone to overpay.
they didn't want, right. Everybody that they wanted, they didn't want to pay what everyone else was paying, and the people that they got for the deals they wanted.
I'm interested. What about somebody going for their Super Bowl window? What about somebody like the Chiefs?
I think that's feasible. I don't know if they have the money for it, though.
They don't have to pay him yet.
I don't think they want to give up the first round pick.
He has 2 years
But again-
left on his deal.
But I mean, we just kind of talked about it. If the Chiefs are going for that ring, I mean, they need the secondary help, and you let them walk after 2 years.
Get a comp pick in return.
Really, I mean, you let them walk. You can give up. If
I don't
you
think it's
give
out
up,
of the question to see Ryan Pace try to do something.
No,
Really?
I don't.
I mean, you
but
give
where
up
do
your
you put him in that
first-rounder.
secondary?
Number one corner.
Number 2.
Who do you take off?
You don't take anybody off. You just push
Prince
down.
Mukamura.
Yeah.
You drop him back.
You drop a Mukamara back into your nickel, and then you bring Buster Screen, and then you bring
Listen,
Buster Screen for your dime.
I like Mukamura a lot. However,
spell it.
Mukamura last name Amurkarararai. It's just like Mississippi, right?
A-E-I-E-I-E-O.
But I like him, but it doesn't mean he's not an ace.
No, I know.
Like, if you have a chance to get Jalen Ramsey, that's a big difference.
Do you guys
Titans, I can see doing it.
But you guys don't have a first round pick.
No, but we have the Raiders' second-round pick and our second-round pick. And Ryan Pace is not opposed to trading a lot. I could see him trading 2 second-round picks and the year after, or trading this year's second-round pick, next year's first-round pick, and then a fifth-round pick or something like that.
And the Bears are what am I trying to say? No, they're not known to have defense win championships.
They're known for their defense.
Especially when their offense is as porous as it's been.
Even the Jets, they like to pay for people.
But keep in mind, like, you're not paying. You don't have to pay him.
No,
I get that, but like,
Yeah,
I'm talking
Dallas.
I'm talking about like paying up to get the guy.
Jerry wouldn't be afraid to do that. But Jerry's not in charge anymore. His son is.
Jerry's in charge.
I think if you go to the Titans,
I tell you, the Chiefs is an interesting one.
I don't think he goes there, though.
I could see him. You got to.
I don't think it happens. But
Andy Reid's not into head cases.
because also the Jaguars aren't going to trade to a team that they think is going to affect them making playoffs.
No, like
Seahawks.
it's Chargers.
Eh,
Chargers need secondary help. They lost their best secondary member for the year.
Detroit.
Well, real quick, to circle back to this for a
Green
second.
Bay. They have a lot of
add
they
to
still
that
have-
defense.
They still have money to spend.
Minnesota.
Souls, do you know why he said that Tennessee was one of his locations he wants to go?
Isn't that his hometown?
He said that in the beginning of the offseason.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. It seems like, not that they're not going anywhere, but the defense is good, but it just seems like the
I
offense
think he
is...
views them as the best team in the division.
And he probably
Yeah,
boys
he was born in Tennessee.
So he just wants to go play for the home
Yeah.
town team, in quotes.
Las
Which
Vegas,
is
because they get paid.
fair,
And
I
he
guess.
attended school in Nashville.
All right, I get it.
In Las Vegas because they get paid the most.
And there's no taxes.
Well, as a businessman, I guess it makes sense
He
to go
doesn't
there.
he doesn't get taxed now.
He'll get taxed even less in Vegas.
No, there's no taxes in Florida.
Are there not?
No.
No income tax, no state income
No,
tax.
I didn't know that.
So if they send to Tampa Bay, same thing as it is in Jacksonville. It just sucks.
Speaking of Tampa Bay,
You got a topic?
do you think is that even feasible for them?
Who?
Tampa Bay?
I mean,
Ramsey to go to Tampa Bay?
I think a lot of teams are feasible. That's the thing. I mean,
I think Pittsburgh is feasible.
there's not a lot of teams that I don't see.
You don't have a first round
All right.
pick anymore, Kyle.
So hold on.
You have a
That
second.
brings up an interesting question. I'm legitimately curious to hear the two of you talk about this. You guys too. Kyle, without being a homer, I want you to take yourself as objectively far away from this as you can.
Right.
Prior to Minka Fitzpatrick coming in, which that happened during the break.
As of September 16th, 2019, on a
Yes.
Monday, which we have recorded.
On Spreaker.
On Spreaker.
Before Minka, where do you think they were as a defense overall? Do you think they were a top 10 unit?
I think they're top 12.
Being 12?
I just don't think they did it yet.
All right. What do you think, Riddler? Do you think they were a top 12?
No, I think they're in the middle tier.
Reed
I would say we were a 15.
and Mock.
15 was the number I had.
All right.
So in the middle.
Adding Minka Fitzpatrick.
If you're putting it,
I think it's the same.
You don't think
Yeah.
it elevates them?
No,
It
it's
will.
the same. Listen,
It will, but not right away.
It's the same. I'll tell you what. If Ramsey and I'm a.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm a
We'll
cool.
get there.
All right. I was going to say.
If
It
they had-
will, but not right away.
let's say midway through the season, where are they going to end up? If
Top
they-
10.
if they were if they had the 15th best defense, Minka Fitzpatrick would probably bring them up to like 13, maybe 12.
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey
I'm,
would probably
I'm in the
bring
same
them,
boat as Paul.
Jalen Ramsey would probably bring them up to 11 to 10, just because Jalen Ramsey is more of a shutdown corner, and then Joe Hayden still has shutdown corner potential in him. So they'd have the big 1-2 punch in the secondary, something they haven't had in a very long time.
They have a decent pass rush. Decent.
Does it make sense for the Steelers to do that? Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so.
So here's the deal.
He can play safety, too.
The biggest the lacking point of the Steelers defense right now is the secondary. It's been that way since Dick
Troy.
LeBeau. Since oddly enough, the weird thing to say is that William Gay and I can't Ike
Taylor.
Ike Taylor. I was gonna say Ike Davis.
Ike Turner.
I mean, that was like the last good secondary the Steelers had for a long time.
Machcine, we're going to you next on the roundtable.
Because of injury, because of their elderliness. So a big addition is Fitzpatrick, and Ramsey would put it way over the top. Now, I'm a known hater
Well, here's
of
the
Ramsey
thing.
because,
The Steelers traded for Fitzpatrick knowing they have 3 or 4 years left.
well, right. I mean, the defensive window is wide open right now. So the pass rush is really good. My biggest,
How many years does Rudolph have left on his deal? When did he get
I
drafted?
don't know.
Last year.
Okay.
I don't know. But here's the thing, and I've heard professional commentators speaking this, and it's something that I've noticed myself. The Steelers are trying to do something with young guys that they want to do with guys who played 6 years each. They're trying to overcomplicate things. They're trying to do these stunts. They're trying to do these blitz packages.
Just let him go.
You built a team right now that is ready. I take back what I'm saying. That is poised to be ready to be a really heavy, cover, not have forced to do man all the time defense. Let the guys kind of mold into themselves. Don't overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
Let them play football. Let it be football 101 on the professional level. The Steelers are losing defensively because they're trying to outsmart their opponents rather than just letting the players be players. And that's the biggest takeaway I took away from the Patriots game. I'm watching them getting beat on the the receivers killed them all day. I'm watching the crossing routes on the natural, what do they call it? The natural picks. The Steelers were beat all day on that. The linebackers were torn up all day on the running backs.
It wasn't linebackers. It was the safeties.
Well, you're going to get beat on the swing routes. It's not on the safeties being beat on the swing routes. It's on the
The
linebackers.
safeties being beat down the field.
But on the
Anyways.
on the swing routes, it's the linebackers, not the safeties. But
You have a rookie.
the point I'm making is don't overcomplicate things.
Let them
what a
play to
hu-
their strengths.
What a huge addition would for
Your linebackers are not coverage linebackers; they're blitzing linebackers.
Yes.
what
They're
a hu-
gonna get beat by an
And now they
above
have a
average
man
offense.
corner out there. besides Shohei.
But I'm just saying, but an above average off, like it doesn't matter though, because you're still going to have at least one linebacker in playing coverage on somebody in a man set. You're never going to not have linebackers out there, and none of your linebackers right now are poised to cover a tight end.
Mark Barron can't do shit in that.
No,
So,
but
I
that's
mean,
why they drafted Devin
They
Bush.
did the right thing by getting Fitzpatrick instead of Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey would have been an absolute stupid decision for them to go out and get Jalen Ramsey.
Well-
Why on earth would you just get rid of? You just got rid of Bell and Brown. Now you're going to go out and get a head case trash talker.
Well, right.
What's the point of that?
I agree with you because I'm in that camp. I'm a hater of Ramsey. However, and I will contradict myself in the fact that
You contradict yourself all the time because you hate Jalen Ramsey for that aspect, but you
I
love
think the
Philip
big
Lindsay
reason
and he's
why
a
the
trash talker.
Steelers gave
I
the
don't love
first round
Philip
pick.
Lindsay.
You love Philip
I don't
Lindsay.
love Phil Lindsay.
I think the reason why
I
the
like the
Steelers
Brock-
gave
I
up
love
the
the
first round
AFC West.
pick knowing that they had the 3 or 4 years of control. And they're like, this is basically a first round pick.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got Minka Fitzpatrick with the 19th, 20th pick, most likely.
The Steelers will win games. Like, that's going to happen.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you, but now it's up in the air.
I get that, but like, they've struggled before in the beginning.
but
Ben is gone, Kyle.
Yeah,
you
Ben is gone.
Ben is gone. Ben is gone. Connor is hurt again and hasn't been played well this season. None of your other receivers have stepped up, with the exception of Juju. It's a big question.
No, I get that, but
But
You
even
guys-
barely Juju.
But the Steelers are but it's not barely Juju.
No,
But
and
I
I will
mean-
not say Billy Juju because Moncrief has not stepped up to the occasion
No, but
whatsoever.
I'm saying,
Nobody
like-
else on. Here's the thing, though. But this Juju, we talked about before. This is Juju's first time
As a one.
exclusively, not
Yeah.
not as a one,
But as
being the exclusive double team. Years prior, teams would pick who to double team, depending on where they lined up and whatnot. This is their first time doing it. I mean, Juju has played well, especially given the where the offense has played. It's just that the rest of the offense hasn't stepped up, and now we have to see what Mason Rudolph can do. With Ben getting hurt, even if Ben stayed healthy and they went 0-2, you guys went from a potential wild card team to a team on the outside trying to look in my opinion. It's my honest opinion on it.
Yeah, which is entirely fair.
and here's my opinion.
I mean, the only thing Juju, in my opinion, the only thing Juju's missing from being a number one, he's just missing the touchdowns. He still put up over 70 yards in both games, being doubled with nobody else doing anything. I mean, Moncrief already has 6 drops
Yeah. And real quick.
in 2 games.
Yeah.
And real quick, everyone, thinks Antonio Brown has been this way his entire career. Antonio Brown didn't really pick it up until his 4th season in. He was fairly average for his first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of room for growth for Juju. So, Juju, this is his first opportunity, to, end quotes, make it big.
He's 20
So-
years old.
Right, well, that's what we're saying, is like, Antonio Brown, it wasn't until 2013
It's not
that
about
he
how
really
old he is,
exploded.
though. We see
Yeah,
a
I
lot
get
of
that, I
times. I'm
get
not
that.
saying that Juju, this is going to happen to Juju. We see a lot of times, we see a player that climbs up the ranks of a receiving or a cornerback depth chart because he's playing so well, and then once he gets the number 1 spot, he doesn't perform well, and whatever the circumstance might be, but they never really are the same after that. We see it all the time. So let's move on from this. We've spent enough time on it.
Just quick thing.
Of course.
You will see a lot of James Washington now on. I guarantee that.
I hope so. I think he's a good ball player.
He is probably going to be Mason Rudolph's favorite target.
Hey, anything the Steelers do positively, I'm in for. So, whatever.
They went to school together. That's my opinion. That's it.
What was their grade point average?
For me, it doesn't matter if James Conner doesn't start playing well.
I agree.
The Steelers are just like the Bears. They're a defensive run-first team. And if the running game isn't working, the rest of it falls apart. Because if they can't run the ball, teams just do what New England did and put all the pressure on it and force short, quick passes, and you don't win football games on 3-yard passes.
Are there a lot of pass first teams? Like I know the Chiefs are a pass first.
Saints.
Good word.
Saints are kind of
Packers.
balanced.
The Rams.
Packers.
Your team is around fast.
No, we are run first.
You're
team.
not.
But we are.
You're not, because
if
when
Goff
Gurley
doesn't
went down,
if Goff doesn't
things
have a
changed.
if Goff does not have a run game, you cannot put the game all on him.
No,
Goff
but
didn't
that's-
look good at week 2. He didn't.
But it's not. No, but that
Goff,
doesn't mean.
did you watch the second half of the game?
He didn't look good.
He looked fantastic the second half.
It doesn't matter though. No, but what you're saying is contradictory, Mass. Mitch Trubisky needs a run game. You need a run game. Every quarterback needs a run game, but it doesn't mean you're a run first team. I mean, if the Chiefs never ran the football, there'd be a lot more people going after Mahomes. Mahomes wouldn't be putting up the numbers he did
biggest team that needs a
if
run
people
game.
weren't running the football.
The biggest team that needs a run game is the Colts. They didn't have it last week, but they won. They had a week 1 and they lost.
I think that I don't think there is. I think the only team in the NFL that still can be considered a run first team is the Patriots. I think that's the Patriots. Maybe the Jets right now because Darnold's out.
I mean, the Patriots have made it completely obvious, and we've seen it statistically, is that Tom Brady can throw for 200 yards and a touchdown and win a game
by 40 points.
Yeah, exactly. 40 points. We saw it last week.
Let's move on to the next topic. Mark, you got one for the round table?
I do. And I heard it briefly on my way in. But, I mean, with the Giants starting 0-2, I mean, week 1, Eli looked good. Last week, kind of spotty. How long before the chance for Daniel Jones start?
You shouldn't start Daniel Jones until Eli gets traded.
You shouldn't. Eli's not going anywhere.
Eli's not getting traded.
He's not getting traded.
Why start him?
Protect.
I think they're just going to kind of let him ride it out, but
because a rookie young backup quarterback learns more from watching the veteran play than from
I
coming
agree.
to the sideline and having the veteran tell him what he did wrong.
I agree.
If the Giants think that Eli's playing bad, they're stupid.
Eli did not play well this
You're
past
right.
week.
But who did he have to throw to?
Eli also played a very good defense.
He
played a very good defense with only one playmaker in the passing
No,
game.
I understand that.
And,
but I mean,
and that's not even like a legitimate playmaker. Not taking anything away from Evan Ingram, but Evan Ingram's not going out there and running a route to make fucking 2 people miss.
I guess
Fowler was your one.
Kyle, I understand that. I'm not disagreeing that he didn't have offensive weapons. But I mean, he still threw twice into triple coverage, once for a terrible interception.
Yeah, but Eli,
where there was no receiver within 15 yards.
But that's been his
I have
whole
to try
career. That's been Eli's whole career.
No, it
Yes.
hasn't. No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has. Eli has always had questionable decision making. Always.
I don't care about that. His thinking probably like, well, nobody else is fucking getting open, so try something.
So the try something is to throw it to the safety?
Do you agree with what Baker Mayfield did last week?
What?
Answer my question.
I don't know what it was.
It was the same thing that Eli had to do this week.
But you're going to throw a ball.
He threw the double coverage a lot.
But again, was there a receiver within 15 yards?
Yeah.
Okay. The pick that Eli threw, there was not.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
You
So
can't blame
you want to bench Eli from one
No.
back row?
I'm not saying bench Eli.
A lot of things that we don't think about. Maybe the receiver ran the wrong route.
What I'm saying is the Giants drafted Daniel Jones at 6. I don't expect him to play this year. But again, they're 0-2. Eli looked good week 1.
Developmental.
I agree. I don't think he should play this year.
You told me.
But it's New York. It's
told
New
me
York.
that the Giants
I understand.
should sit
I
him.
understand it's.
I
New
did
York,
not
but-
say they should sit him.
You did.
I did not.
I understand it's 0-2, but their 0-2 is a lot different than if the Bears were 0-2 in the same situation. If you had a defense like the Bears and you guys were 0-2, then it's more on Eli. But your defense is trash,
I agree.
and your receiving core is trash. Your offensive line is above average. You've got a great running back. You've got a great tight end. That's it. I mean,
it's crappy because
what benefit? I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying it in general. What benefit is there to New York Giants organization by putting Daniel Jones in instead of Eli Manning? Daniel Jones probably would have thrown 4 picks yesterday.
Listen, I'm not saying Eli should be sat. The point I'm making, and I was talking about this yesterday with a friend of my brother's. Figure in what it could be next year, the way it happens now, that if Barkley starts saying, hey, this team's going nowhere, either trade me or whatever, the Giants got to make some type of steps forward saying, listen, we have a plan. There needs to show something.
The only way Eli sits is if he has multiple games of multiple, bad play. That hasn't existed yet. Now, unfortunately, it's crappy because across all New York sports, they're put up on a pedestal of those the New York sports fans.
Market.
Well, it's a big market, but they're expected that they have the biggest say across all sports.
It's not
which hold on, real quick, which is a garbage assumption, and it's treated so poorly only because of the media, how much involvement they have of all those teams. Now, you look at a team that in Arizona, which is the Cardinals, being a team with perhaps a lot of promise, however, a lot of unanswered questions so far, and yet. We'll watch an entire season. I'm very confident, regardless of an injury that may happen, we're going to see an entire season of Kyler Murray, and he may not do a whole lot of anything. And you know what? And he will be under no scrutiny because he's a rookie. Now, we're looking at a guy like Eli Manning, who's in his, umpteenth season, a guy who's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
And because, they have a 6th-round pick in Daniel Jones, 6th pick overall, Daniel Jones, a guy who's, waiting in the wings, if you will, and because the Giants are playing poorly, that Eli Manning is getting ready to be crucified because the Giants are 0-2. And that would only exist because of the fan base that exists in New York, and it exists only because of the media proportion, that we've seen, and because, we being a podcast, a radio show that lives in the New York metropolitan area, and we're exposed to it so often that we're forced to see the majority more than everybody else. And it's entirely a backwards way of thinking. I don't know why that the New York sports fans are put so much in a position to call shots, where in any market, in any other place in the entire world, does not exist. And I don't care about the money spent. I don't care about the proportion of people who live there. It doesn't make any sense to me. It is a backwards way of thinking. It's about wins. It's about development. It's about, putting your best players forward, and it doesn't make any sense to me that why we patronize the New York sports market, to be so, forward in decision making when it shouldn't be that way. So
here's the thing you got to remember too. I mean, Daniel Jones, yes, was it the 6th overall pick, but I mean this almost like calling for like the change of the guard has been going on for. Years now. I mean, really, since 2011, the Giants haven't done a thing. They made the playoffs once.
Right.
So, again, you got to show young player, and even potential, that there's some type of plan. I mean, there has to show some type of upsides coming.
Yeah. Drafting Daniel Jones with the 6th overall pick on Eli's last contract year is the plan. That's the plan.
But then the GM comes out and says Eli's going to play 3 to 4 more years. That's what there is no plan. That's what I'm saying.
That's hearsay. That's hearsay.
You're playing in New York. It doesn't matter what you say. Everything's a lie. None of it matters.
Everything is a flip because my spiel that lasted a minute and a half just now. How many times have we heard the Knicks go on this big, routine about this and that, about the team's direction, and then what they say is entirely untrue, and they'll switch gears and they'll try to do something else.
New York sports fans across all sports are the exact same, and it's what have you done for me lately? That's all it is.
That's any sports fandom.
It's not, though.
It is.
It's not. 100% it's not.
I will say that, look.
It is 100% way more prevalent in all New York sports.
It's more prevalent in New York because New York is the sports capital.
Nobody in Chicago wanted Derrick Rose gone. No fan of the Chicago Bulls wanted Derrick Rose gone. Somebody who blew out his knee and every time he got hurt caused them to be a bad organization because there was nothing else behind him. He was their bread and butter for the entire season.
Same with the Phillies when they got old.
Nobody is saying
the Philly fans booed Harper after 3 weeks.
But nobody's saying
They booed his performance, not booed him.
But nobody in Arizona. Nobody in
Big
Arizona
difference.
has asked for a different number one besides Larry Fitzgerald. And what have they done since they went to the Super Bowl? They had one little playoff push where they beat the Packers in overtime.
If
Got
Bryce
destroyed
Harper,
by the Panthers.
Bryce Harper will not be
I mean,
booed again.
Fitzgerald's been a 1,000-yard receiver every year. I mean,
Not last year.
he got
again,
close, though,
but I
didn't
mean,
he?
it's
But no
not
one's
that
going-
he's
yeah,
been
but-
playing poorly. So why would they be calling for him to be? I mean, he's been their number one.
But
his
New
entire
York
career.
fans act like Eli Manning is Jay Cutler every time he goes under center. Every time. Every single time.
Nobody
I don't
hates
agree.
Eli Manning as much as New York Giants fans.
As a whole, 100%.
Yeah.
As
Nobody
a whole,
hate-
Giants fans treat Eli like shit.
Somebody who's brought them 2 Super Bowls against probably 2 of the
You listen
greatest
to
teams
you
of
listen
all
to
time.
Sirius XM radio. You listen to any NFL talk show on that thing. Every
It's
single
time to
show.
bench Eli.
There's always Giants fans coming in. Eli's terrible. Why do we keep starting him? And it's been that way for the past 3 years.
But again,
It's been like that for longer.
again, since 2011. Yes, I understand. He's won 2 Super Bowls. He's 2-time MVP. In 10 years, almost 10 years, they've made the playoffs 1 time.
In 10 years, how many times have you guys had a top 10 defense? In 10 years, how many times have you guys had anything arguably good at running back?
How about wide receivers?
That's not the question. The question is, who is the best quarterback to win the game for you? Think about it. You
Again,
think Geno Smith's better than Eli?
no, and
You
that
think
was
Davis
stupid.
Webb is better than Eli?
Davis Webb, we don't know.
Okay.
Do you want to go back to?
But
to
that was the
Phil
If
thing,
the Giants
too.
didn't believe that Davis Webb deserved to start over Eli, then he wasn't the answer.
Listen,
Because right now he's playing for the Jets,
but that was the thing too. I don't know if he's on the Jets
No.
now.
and he didn't.
Luca.
It's not.
No.
It's not Davis
He's on the
Webb.
practice squad, and he's not.
But
playing.
again, even when they drafted Davis Webb, he was drafted in the 4th round. I'm sorry, this was back when they drafted what the hell's the guy's name?
Eli gives you
position?
the best chance to win, and you can't take
What
that away.
position?
It was a quarterback. Was it?
Oh
Nassib?
no.
Okay.
But
Carl
he-
Nassib?
He was another one that was like, all right, maybe this is the guy. Because even then, Eli was starting to look like he was on his way out. But he kind of bounced back when Odell came in, and so all right, Nassib was gone.
When you're a coach of a team, you got to play the best player that's going to give you the chance to win. And right now, it's Eli, and it will be Eli for the whole year.
I think Eli plays the whole year. But what I'm saying is how do you know he gives you the best chance? How do you know that?
Because Davis Webb came into one regular season game, fumbled, didn't even care. You saw the look on his face. He did not give a shit.
This team's going nowhere.
Since 2010, since 2000, what are we talking about? 2011.
11, they won the Super Bowl since their
All
last
right, so
Super Bowl.
since then, they've had 1,000-yard rusher one time in Ahmad Bradshaw, and that was 1,002.
Okay.
And then you had Saquon Barkley. The next highest was 820.
Who was that?
Jennings. Your leading rushers in that time are Ahmad Bradshaw with the 1,000 yard, then Brown with 492 was your leading rusher on the season, 492. Then Williams with 721.
Can you even tell us who that Brown is?
Really, Brown.
Andre Brown. Then you had, after that, you had Andre Williams was your next highest, 721. Then Jennings at 893 for Jennings. Then Darkwa at 751. So you're talking about a
Oh my God, I
six-season
forgot about
stretch
all
with
these.
no run game at all. Then,
Where did their O-line rank during all this?
their O-line's been trash for
It's
the
been
past
bad.
5 years. And until this year, this is the first year that their O-line has actually looked halfway decent. They haven't been able to keep Eli up. Eli's not a scrambling quarterback. Eli can't make things happen with his feet,
No.
even outside the pocket. He's a pocket passer. He's his brother. So if there's no protection, then they're done. Outside of Odell Beckham, what have you guys really had to offer at wide receiver?
In that time span, or what do you mean?
Sure, in that time
2011.
span.
In that time span, you had Odell.
Besides Odell, he said.
I know.
This is the first time we're seeing Evan Ingram come into his own and be a regular threat.
So here's the
I
deal.
mean, the end of last year when Odell went out, but we made the establishment a couple weeks ago. Ingram's better without Odell.
Yeah.
So the two of them together doesn't matter. So your tight end situation has not been good. Your
You
offensive
had
line
Victor
situation's
Cruz,
been bad.
maybe.
Victor Cruz really.
Maybe I said.
Victor Cruz wasn't his last catch as a Giant the helmet catch?
No,
No, that was
that was
Akeem Hicks, right? Or,
No, the helmet catcher was David
David
Tyree.
David Tyree.
But even still-
That was his last catch
So-
as a Giant, right?
Victor Cruz barely played after
Yeah.
that 1 year.
Victor Cruz really.
Well, he had his big blow up year. Then he wasn't that good.
And he got hurt.
Then Odell came in and he was hurt.
So
Really,
When did Tiki?
on that Victor
when
But
Cruz-
on
did
the
Tiki
offensive
last
side of the
play?
football, it's been Odell, the 1 year of Ahmad Bradshaw.
So they had a big signing in Brandon Marshall that
Oh my God, I forgot.
never panned out to be anything.
I
And then he
forgot
got
Brandon
hurt.
Marshall.
Then every receiver got hurt in the same game.
There
Week
is
5, that sucked.
very high aspirations for
I'm just
Giants
saying, though,
offense, but,
like,
it never panned
other
out.
than Odell, Barkley, which has only been a year and 2 games, Ingram, which has only been the end of last year and the beginning of this year, and the
He was
offensive
good.
line.
He was good his rookie year. He had a good season his rookie year.
All right, let's
Still,
go.
I mean, but
I'm gonna go look at. I want to go take a look at your Giants.
if you
draft
have
picks.
one good receiver, but his rookie year you didn't have Barkley.
No, I know that.
So I'm saying, so that year you go up a team. We're going to put our top corner on Beckham and our second corner on Ingram. Our third corner is going to double Beckham, and then our fourth corner will just be a Ranger.
All
We
right.
don't have to worry about the run game because they can't do it. We're going to blitz. We're going to blitz 4 because they're going to get through.
So let's talk
I mean,
about.
that's not on Eli. Eli is not, and never has been advertised as the Tom Brady or the Peyton Manning that makes everything out of nothing.
And listen, I don't want you to
But
think,
he's made a lot for this New York Giants organization
That doesn't
out of really not a lot.
my argument is not that Eli's the problem. I'm not saying that.
Let's talk about your draft picks for the last few years.
Well, I'm just saying though, but you're
You
going
had-
back to the plan.
yeah,
The plan was drafting Daniel Jones.
and nothing.
That's
after
the
that.
plan.
Yeah.
The plan is you drafted Daniel Jones. You're going to say things about Eli because you need to give him reassurance. You need to give the team reassurance, whatever, about Eli. Because you fucked Eli royally 2 years ago with the Geno Smith thing.
Yeah, that was
You need to give Eli the reassurance. I don't think there's really many people out there that are expecting Eli Manning to get a contract after this to be the starting quarterback.
No.
Maybe a high, maybe like a $6-7 million a year contract to be we're going to have you continuously competing for the starting job with Daniel Jones to push that guy to the next level, but be the mentor backup, and we'll eat that salary for that because that's a great thing to have that guy on the team for 2 more years. But you're also saying it to a guy that I don't think there's any ambitions for Eli to ever play anywhere else but the Giants.
I don't think so either.
I think if Eli is traded before the season's over, Eli retires.
Yeah, I don't think he plays anywhere else.
Let's talk about the Giants picks since 2012. Just the first 2 picks each year, just because these are fun for me. In 2012, with the 32nd pick, you took David Wilson,
Who was showing promise till he got hurt
and then
couldn't play
and
anymore.
then Reuben Randall,
Yeah, he sucked. Never cared for him.
and then 2013, you guys took Justin Pugh and Jonathan Hankins. 2014,
Two good players.
you took. Are either of them still on the team?
Well, no, but that's irrelevant.
New York Giants took Odell Beckham in 2014, and then Weston Richburg.
Don't even know who that is.
Okay, he was your second round pick. 2015, Eric Flowers.
Yep.
In between Todd Gurley and
Well, I mean, come on. You can go back. Jamarcus
Yeah.
Russell got drafted before Calvin Johnson.
and then Landon Collins, who was good, got traded though.
That was a steal of a pick.
Yeah.
And he didn't get traded. They let him walk.
Oh, even worse.
The problem with New York sports. is
2016, Eli Apple
we can keep doing this forever.
and Sterling Shepard.
The problem for New
I'm
York
2
sports.
years, 2 years away.
The problem for New York sports football is front office. End of story.
Yeah,
It's the front office.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram and then
You want to show the
David
team.
Tomlinson.
You want to show these young guys that there's a plan. Get the cancer out of it, and that's the front office.
Yeah.
That's the cancer.
Well, it's not like they did themselves any favors by hiring. Who did they even hire? Gettleman?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a favor
I mean,
for the young guys.
It's not. It's not. I don't blame the organization, and I don't blame the player. It's very unfortunate what happened with Golden Tate.
The owners are also not great.
I'm saying though, but like It's very unfortunate what happened with Golden Tate, and I don't blame the organization because you can't foresee that coming, and I don't blame Golden Tate because it was not something that he did to make him a better receiver.
It was like a fertility thing.
He took a fertility drug. When he found out that there was a PED substance banned from the NFL in it, he ceased use of it, properly disposed of the pills to a pharmaceutical company, and came clean immediately to the New York Giants organization, and the NFL said, well, PED protocol 4 games. Yeah. Not his fault. But even still, I refuse to believe that there was no plan to draft Daniel Jones
100%.
By the time that season's end came around. Like, after the Combine. So you did Combine and all that, right? Mm-hmm. At that point, I think there was serious consideration by the Giants. We're really looking at Daniel Jones. We're looking at jumping up to get him or picking him early, whatever. We'll do what we got to do. But that's the guy. That's who we wanted our quarterback. The meetings, all that stuff. So then free agency comes. Even if Daniel Jones is the guy for this season, the best thing you bring in for him, the only thing you bring in for him, is Golden Tate. That's it. I'm sorry, but
you have a lot of money to spend,
in his rookie year, Sterling Shepard showed a lot of promise.
They don't have a lot of money.
But do they not?
Because they got to eat Odell's contract.
The Giants can find endless.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Endless money they can find. They could find so much money. But you bring in Golden Tate, which was a pretty penny to spend.
Yeah.
And then Sterling Shepard had a really good rookie year as that 3-2 receiver, but he's kind of plateaued at that since. He hasn't really shown anything to be a solid 2 receiver in the league.
Going to interject real quick off topic. Full terms of Minka Fitzpatrick trade. Steelers trade a 2021 or 2020 first round pick, 2020 fifth round pick, and a 6th round in 2021. Dolphins give back Minka Fitzpatrick, a 4th rounder this year, and a 7th rounder the year after. Back to the Giants.
Well, we should move on to the next discussion.
All right.
Unless you have anything else to add.
No.
Souls, you have anything? Of course you don't.
No. Well,
this is like the segment geared for Kyle, just ready to argue with the world. And
right.
I don't want to talk. I'm too busy watching the Browns.
We are getting towards the tail end of our show, however. And I would like to make a mention here. And for your viewers who aren't able to watch, because we don't do anything like that except on Facebook, which has been down. However, the beer discussion here, Paul and Mock, who started prior to me, as well as Kyle, they have much better beards than I do. I'm in week 2.
Oh, beard! That was a beard discussion.
I thought you were saying beard. I was like,
beard with a D. Their beards are much better than mine in week 2.
This is my beard growth. Yeah,
I will say something.
So, all right, you're talking sports or beard?
Sports.
What? Well, this is a beard discussion, Souls.
Anyway, I do think the Browns are massively overrated.
Kyle, we already know that you thought that.
No, I'm talking about you two thinking otherwise.
I think they're. I don't think.
No, I think they're overrated. They beat a team that lost their second quarterback in the second quarter and had struggled moving the ball.
Kyle, I don't think
losing the other team's quarterback doesn't affect.
No, wait. Hold on. 23-3. Can I just diffuse this argument entirely?
Sure.
I don't want to diffuse it. I want to fight with
but Kyle, because I'm in your camp.
Baker Mayfield got sacked like 6-7 times.
Kyle, I'm in your camp. Just please let me be the person to help you out. Okay? Don't attack me as a person to be on your side.
Go ahead.
We're watching the Browns Jets game simultaneously. We're not gonna disclose anything that's going on. The Browns have had a better game than the Jets entirely.
Oh my God! The Jets just ripped off Baker Mayfield's arm.
Did you bring a flask upstairs when you went to the bathroom? Because you were not this drunk 10 minutes ago.
I've been drunk this time since the minute I was born.
All right, we're gonna get past this whole Cleveland thing.
Oh, hold on. I want to hear Kendall's diffusion of this.
Oh, well, no, if we don't want to hear about it, I don't care about it.
I just wanted to get to something.
Well, then let's get to it.
They really think that after this game, they're worth it.
Worth what?
Have the Browns lived up to the hype?
Playoff contender.
Have the Browns lived up to the hype so far this season?
Kyle, are the Steelers still a playoff contender?
Yes.
Why?
No.
Why? They're 0-2 and Ben's gone.
Yeah, their defense is better.
But they're 0-2 and Ben's gone.
Yeah.
The Browns are going to be 1, so they're in a better position.
I get it. I get your decision.
I mean, come on.
It's not about
no.
Have the Browns lived up to the hype that was presented this offseason?
No. Not yet.
Not even close.
You know, listen. Listen, let me tell you what. Time out. I muted everybody. You know why? Because you muted me. I muted everybody just for a second. You guys let me talk for a second. And you know what? I don't care. But I care.
Okay, go ahead.
And you know what? You cut me off for the goddamn last time.
Go ahead.
I'll mute you guys just for now. Because I love you guys. You guys are my friends.
Did they live up to the hype? No.
You know what, Mass? You're a real son of a bitch. And can I have something more to drink?
Where's the private stock?
No,
Or where's the?
I imagine there's no more private stock. I mean, if there's anything left in there, it could be in the tube.
That might open.
Can I talk, Kendall, before you start going on?
All right, well, listen, we're getting to the closing points. You know, Paul had something to say, and then Mark had something to say, Massive. So let's go down the line.
Okay.
Please, souls.
You yourself, Mike, said Steel would start off slow and pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay, which they will.
But when we said that, Ben was still playing.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It won't.
How does it not matter,
But the
Kyle?
defense is still
So
better
your
than what
defense
you
is going to
expect.
score offensive touchdowns? Your defense is throwing the ball?
Okay.
The Bears did that last
But
year.
I mean, come on.
Now, here's my thing.
Sorry, I'm not trying to contradict you. I'm just saying the Bears did that last year.
Yeah.
The Bears won a lot of games that way last year.
Now, here's my thing. After this game, 23-3 against the New York Jets, do you honestly think they're a playoff team?
Yes, Kyle.
Why?
It's still a win.
Why? Tell me why. What out of this game you thought was good?
They won, Kyle.
That's not
Okay,
my
wait.
point.
Okay, so
I
this
don't
is,
understand.
My
This
point,
is- wait,
okay? No, Kendall, shut up.
Oh my God, Souls, you're such an
No,
asshole.
I'm trying to talk.
I'm trying to help you here, and you refuse to
Okay,
let me
go ahead.
talk.
Go ahead, Kendall.
Kyle, because I can be more articulate than you can right now.
Go ahead, Kendall.
We're looking at the game right here with the Browns putting up a 23 spot versus a Jets spot of 3 of this time in September 16th, 2019.
That defense got me a lot of points.
We anticipated, the Browns to come out, with Baker Mayfield, with Odell Beckham, with Jarvis Landry, with Nick Chubb to be an explosive offense. The first week they were pretty much, qualmed, and a team versus the Jets without, Sam Darnold, he goes down with a sickness. Trevor Siemian steps up, he goes down with an injury. We're on our third quarterback.
Yeah.
The Jets are able to put up 3 points. The Browns had an opportunity to put up an explosive number of points because of their team, because of their defense, which is believable, which their offense is #believable. They put up 23 points. You would think that the odds are stacked in their favor to them to explode. And they didn't, they didn't do that. They put up 23 points. Baker Mayfield was under duress the entire game, which I think we've seen. The offense, Beckham played very well. Nick Chubb played pretty well. But they didn't put anybody in hey, these guys are Super Bowl contenders. That's what I've noticed.
And Baker
I'm not a
Mayfield did
professional.
not throw the ball well.
I'm not a professional. I do this on TV.
May I?
I do this on the radio. That was a joke. No one laughed. The Browns were able to win this game. But the point that I'm making is that let's not crown a team that is, 1-1 and are in a division that's up.
Also,
grabs.
the next 5 opponents are 2-0.
May I interject to answer Kyle's question?
Real quick,
That
Kendall just made a really long version basically to say that
We're
the
2 games in.
the Browns are 1-1 and they should they lost last week to a team they should have beat. And then this week they beat a team that they should have beat. I think that's what he's trying to
And
say.
the next 5 opponents are.
Thank you, Riddler.
May I answer
ahead.
the question?
Riddler, may I have more of your
I
drink?
think the Browns are overrated.
By you yourself or just in general?
Both.
Okay.
I still think they end up with a wild card at the worst.
I do not. The big reason is their quarterback. Their quarterback makes too many dumb decisions. Even last year.
He had over 300 yards and a touchdown today, Kyle.
Yeah.
Eddie
Guess
Jankowski
what?
just wanted me to say, can you guys real quick talk about the Phillies only need 14 more games to reach 11,000 losses as a franchise and have had 78 seasons under 500?
Yeah. Also, most of it played for the Philadelphia.
Can we talk about that play that the Falcons drew up where Jake Matthews just fucking leveled one of the cornerbacks and Julio went? That was a fucking beautiful play.
Here's my thing, my off topic. Baker Mayfield will throw for 300 yards, but he will throw that interception when it means the most.
So you're saying
he didn't win.
So
he did not win today.
So you're saying he's Kirk Cousins.
What do you mean he
The
didn't
defense played Trevor Siemian and Luke Falk. That's what beat them.
The offense scored 2 touchdowns,
Like I said.
and one of them was throwing.
Did
So
you guys not listen to my dissertation like 3 minutes ago?
I'm trying to explain to him.
But I just said that,
Jets
Kyle.
are without one.
Kyle,
best player.
I just said that, Kyle. And
With
the
C.J. Mosley in the lineup, the Jets have given up 0 points.
Kyle, Kyle, I'm on your side. Why are you discrediting what I'm saying when I'm
not.
agreeing
You're
with
just
you?
being stupid and not listening.
Kyle, I said it better than you did.
So beer reviews?
I'd like to speak.
I had Coors Light.
Fair. Mock?
the Nirvana by Amagang is pretty good. Nice little flavor profile and a little.
Look how this can koozies being like the new whore of GSWD.
Well, no, you know why I have it? Because the cans sweat, and I was just trying to limit that.
You should just drink it faster.
But no, the Nirvana is a very good IPA. Amagang makes a lot of good stuff. I'm a big fan of their beers. I like the logo a lot. Check out their stuff.
Not a sponsor.
I had a little Juicy by Two Roads. It was good. Not as good as Too Juicy, but still 3-star material.
Me? I had Desired Effects by Honor Brewing of Colorado. 7.5%, about $15, a 4-pack. Amber in color. I mean, did you know the price, Riddler? I mean, Riddler bought this. I'm just guessing. A lot of the beers I've guessed on the price.
I didn't buy it.
Well, but
It was $52 for a can.
So Riddler is a supplier of a lot of these beers of late, and
Just review it.
I'm just going as
Sorry,
my
price is not important. If they're intrigued, they'll buy it.
grainy floral aroma, as well as a very similar flavor profile, with the exception of a citrus and earthy note. It's a double IPA, which you wouldn't know it because it doesn't gain much being a double IPA. It is barely an IPA by definition. 1 star, no chance I will get again. I'm sorry, our friends in Colorado. I appreciate you.
100% chance he drinks it next week.
Well, no, because I'll drink the last can on the ride home. But thank you, Colorado, for your chance.
Started off with a Coors Light, just to have a Coors Light. And then I also had a little Juicy from the
Ozarks.
the fuck was his name today? Juicy Souls. 2 Juicy Souls. From the 2 Juicy Souls collection. I like the Little Juicy a lot. I know a lot of the IPA whores out there didn't think it held up to the standard of Two Roads beer.
I tell you, I didn't care for it that much. I would try it again, but I wasn't a big fan.
I like it, but I'm also a huge fan of the session style IPAs. So, but yeah, I liked it a lot. I would give it 3. I'd give it 3 stars, and I got it again. It's not like the beer I'm going to be like looking for in a store, but like if I was like looking around, it's like I don't know what to get. I would consider getting this.
Would you like to hear longer applause?
No,
No, I'll give you
I
one.
can't even hear you. The applause. Is it good? Is it a good applause?
It's good. I mean, if you want to get the headphones, I mean.
Nah, don't worry about it.
All right. Well, don't worry about
Machcine, where can they find us besides Spreaker?
Well, and according to Spreaker, be sure to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk.
And Spreaker.
Twitter is GSWD_4.
Make sure you use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's... We don't really have any good ones today.
Shitting on the
Getting
Browns.
Sports with Drunk or going on Spreaker.
Subscribe on Podbean,
Spreaker.
iTunes,
Spreaker.
Google Play,
Spreaker.
iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Spreaker,
And
where you
Spreaker.
can also find the rest of the PPR and Radio Network.
Can they find us on Spreaker?
We're on Spreaker.
Nice.
Rock still can't beat me in fantasy.
All right. Check out the Peter Pino Show Wednesday night. I know Kendall will be there. I might be there. Not
Yes,
sure
sir.
yet.
I'll be there.
Might be at the mall.
Oh, God, that was terrible.
Ooh,
That was
wrecked.
terrible.
Wrecked by your audience of peers.
That was terrible. But, yeah, a lot of good stuff going on PPRN. Follow us on Spreaker.
Already.
Hoping we have a guest next week. Working on it.
Check the GSWD Instagram and Facebook tomorrow for the Riddler's Rankings Power Rankings. Will be updated now that week 2 is in the books. And hopefully, wow, that was disgusting. Hopefully the gentlemen here at the table can come up with some creative content that they'd like to start posting. I'd like to get more posts on the gram. the gram, the tweet, the book, the gram tweet book.
Oh, wait.
And we got to get souls on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Pick'ems.
Oh, that's right, the pick'ems.
I'll read them really quick. I don't know who's everyone's name their thing is.
I'm nose picker.
So in first is Nose Picker. They
Yes.
went 12-3 this week.
13-3.
You picked the Browns.
The Browns scored. The Browns game probably didn't load yet.
All right.
I'm just guessing because I had 12 games as. No, wait, it would be 16 games. Yeah.
Yeah, 13-3.
Maybe I picked the Jets.
May not have updated yet.
No, I might have picked the Jets.
Then there's Down with Mock. Not sure who that is.
Souls.
He went 10-5. I went 9-6. I believe Just Win Baby by elimination is Kendall. He went 9-6. The Mass went 9-6. J Mart bringing up the rear at a nice 0-15.
16.
Well,
It says 15 right now.
Game didn't load.
Nice. All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, it does have the Browns game loaded. I don't know why it still says 15.
The Dolphins were on a bye week and they forgot.
I got the Steelers game wrong, the Chargers game wrong, and the Panthers game wrong.
Also, the 3.
So Jeff went in and picked only tonight's game, and he picked the Jets.
That's funny.
And that was me, by the way.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have
that's
his count
funny.
on my phone.
That's funny as hell.
You picked it?
Yeah.
So is he just planning to not do it?
I'm going to do it for him.
So real
Why?
quick down
That's
the line,
ridiculous.
everybody picked Carolina to win. So everyone got an L there. Everyone picked the Chargers to win, so there was L's all across the board there. Everyone picked the Patriots to win, so dubs for everyone. The Mass was the only one to pick the Seahawks to win.
Asshole.
Everybody picked the Cowboys, Ravens, and Texans to win, so all winners there. Everybody picked the Chiefs and the Bears to win. Mass and I were the only Rams pickers.
Fuckers.
And everybody picked the Browns except for Jeff.
So,
Which is hilarious because Jeff would 100%
what were
pick
the
the
other
Browns.
2 games that I picked from that differentiated from them?
Yeah.
Those are just the ones everybody picked the same. So who are you? You're down with Mock?
Yeah, fuck Mock.
No, it says down with Mock.
It's the same thing.
All right, so you got the Panthers game wrong. You got the Chargers game wrong. You got the Titans game wrong. You got the Steelers game wrong. And you got the Saints game wrong.
The other 10 I was solving.
Oh no, because you went 9-6 or 10-5.
10 and 5.
5.
All right, well, make sure to tune in next week at Getting Sports with Drunk here live on the PPRN Radio Network, live on Spreaker. We will be here 8-ish to 11-ish to 12-ish to 1-ish to whenever the fuck we get done.
On Spreaker.
On Spreaker. Until then, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mock.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
Spreaker.
Spreaker Souls.
I was about to say, how long until Spreaker Souls comes out? The Mass Chris Massey.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Yeah.